Alrighty, hello Kill Team fans here for another night of the Worldwide Open. We are still in round 2 of our Swiss system here at the Worldwide Open. Kill Team Tabletop Simulator Command Point Data Team Extravaganza that has been 2020 and now 2021. Happy New Year. I think this is our first cast of the New Year, right? Or was the other one during the, maybe it was after the New Year's. I don't even remember. That's how crazy the last week has been. Time, I mean, the whole last, 12 months or whatever it's been. Time has no meaning. Here with me tonight, I got Shane and Ryan from Command Point. I got the Command Point boys. How you doing tonight, guys? Shane, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Things are. It's a good old night, like you said. It's the new year. I don't know for sure if this is our first stream of the new year. If not, Happy New Year, everybody. Belated, I guess. Welcome to the stream. Ryan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm ready to kick this thing off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun matchup tonight. We got Heretics versus Heretics in the way of Death Guard versus Thousand Suns. Good old
Okay.
boy Tom LaRoche taking on, I think, newcomer to the Discord, JamesK. I haven't seen him around. If he isn't new, I apologize. Um, like I said, it's been a long week. Uh, lots going on here in the states, as per usual. So yeah, just ready to get into some kill team tonight. I got one drink going on. I know you guys are drinking already. Tom said he's drinking, and I got a few beers lined up here to follow it up, and one reserved for the post game. Yeah, we got some treats for you guys tonight. I mean, you know. Other than saucy commentary, I believe Tom wants to do video post game interview. So, uh, yeah, we're gonna see what happens here, boys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's a
Hmm.
little heretic on heretic action here. Death Guard
Yeah,
versus Thousand Suns on the open board. I think
yeah.
it could be a pretty interesting matchup. I'm
Yeah,
thinking that it could go either way. Ryan? What do you think about this matchup?
I think it's a toss up, and these two factions, they kind of mirror each other in different aspects. Thousand Suns, they have that mortal wound output with all their cybolts and everything, and then Death Guard with their disgustingly resilient feel no pains. They're just like it's almost like a counter to it.
Hmm.
But yeah, either way, and the Zangors kind of fill in the same roles as the Poxwalkers. They definitely mirror each other in a lot of interesting ways. So I think they're getting started with picking their secondaries now.
Yeah, they were waiting
Uh,
on me, I believe. I'm just letting them know to pick the six. There was a little bit of confusion, I think, but they're going to pick the six and they're going to put them out here for us so we can take a look and we can make some predictions as we've been doing recently with these randomized secondaries. I hope they're going to anyway. I told them to in the chat, but yeah, should be interesting. We have some extra insight tonight because if James K is new and we don't have a lot of information on him, Shane, you played him in round 1, I believe. Correct? Is my intel correct here?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And
It,
how did that go for you?
well, he's 1-0, so that should tell you everything you need to know. He is kind of a newcomer to the competitive scene in general. Pretty sure he's a newcomer to Discord as well. He's playing Thousand Suns. He's running that double sorcerer stuff. Um, I did not have the greatest time playing against the double sorcerer on that arena board in the first round. My Lich Guards melted
Yeah.
in the face of his of his flamer pistols, which I didn't expect. But no, I mean he played a tight game, and it's gonna be interesting to see because now he's playing against Thousand or Death Guard rather, who I think is a very different matchup than Necron. So I mean it'll be interesting to see if he kind of sticks to the same setup that he had against me, or if he mixes it up a little bit and takes something different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I expect to see a lot of birds and a lot of poxwalkers tonight. I don't know if that will be the case, but open board, hold, and I would say not a whole lot of shooting on either side, or I don't expect a lot of shooting on either side. So just having a mass of bodies you can throw onto objectives seems like the way to go for me. We do have the secondary poll, so I'm going to put that up on screen now for those of you that are watching. Um, this is our board as well. Take a quick look at the board. So this is the round 2 board, open Nova style. Yeah, so pretty even. Uh, are they exact? Is it mirrored? Actually, it is mirrored.
Yeah,
Except the
they're the
center.
same.
Except the center. Yeah, the
Yeah.
sides are the same. All right. See, I didn't even realize that. That's how little I have played on this board um, recently, and I'm not in the tournament. So okay. So here are our secondary polls. We have domination, thin their ranks, recon sweep, cut apart, scout the field, and death from afar. So I expect to see domination for sure in play in this one. That center objective, big for the hold, 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 and also for that secondary. Yeah, let's. You know what? I'm gonna throw it, Shane. Since you played against James last week, I'm gonna throw it to you for what you're expecting out of the Thousand Suns here.
Yeah, I don't know what James' thought process is right now going up against Death Guard. I don't know what he thinks Tom is going to bring. I can tell you that looking at these secondaries right now, it's my temptation would be first of all, I would love to see thin their ranks, just because I mean you're looking at a team that has 2 Cybolts
Hmm.
and a decent amount of shooting power, getting 2 kills per round,
Yeah.
especially against kind of a horde that Tom might bring, a lot of Poxwalkers, should be super doable. Um, Beyond that, I would be looking at maybe cut apart. It's a little bit tough. You want to set up those mismatches with Zangors fighting Poxwalkers. And then the last one is a little tough. I'm gonna say domination, but that one is risky because both of them might be going for it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be my pick for James. Domination, thin their ranks, and cut apart.
All right, most definitely. So, again, not sure how much experience James has going against Death Guard, but I do know Tom, maybe not with his Death Guard, but in general, has some experience going against Thousand Suns, seeing as his
Oh yeah.
his biggest practice partner and person he's played the most over the years is Skinner, who joins us, another James, who joins us in is actually in the Twitch chat right now, but he plays Thousand Suns, mains Thousand Suns. So, Tom has had some experience against them. Ryan, what do you expect his Death Guard to take here?
Right. Well, if there's one thing I know about Tom, it's he's an absolute loose cannon, and I cannot possibly predict with 100% certainty what secondaries he will pick. What I can say is I would like to see him take domination, just to, you can just fill out all those Poxwalkers into the center of the board and easily hold that. Um, I would also like to see him take cut apart. I know he probably has some close combat Plague Marines on his team, some Plague Marine fighters with like the flail.
Oh yeah.
It's almost like an auto take in my eyes in a lot of matchups.
Hmm.
And then going along with that, I could see thin their ranks being a decent choice for him.
Okay. Looks like we are getting the muster right now. So let's take a look. All right, so we have dual sorcerers and one Rubik Marine gunner, and then 6 Zangors. And it looks like going up against the champion with, I believe, a pistol. Not sure. He might have plasma. It's just the model that he's got there. If I mouse over, what do we got?
He's got a
Plasma
plasma
gun
gun and power
and
fist
power
and the
fist.
plague
Okay.
knife.
All right. And then we have that flail that you talked about. And then we have
Yep.
2 blight launchers. And then 7 Poxwalkers. So one more Marine than the other side, and then one more, I guess, Poxwalker. Then we have birds on the table. How are you guys feeling about this? The bread and butter, like you said, that flail, although might as well have a pool noodle whenever I play with that model. Doesn't get much done. But Shane, what are you thinking about these musters right now, looking at them?
So I really like the muster from Tom. I think this is pretty much exactly what I would have brought in this situation.
Hmm.
If I wasn't going to go Poxwalker spam. I think against Thousand Suns, you need uh, the double blight launcher and the plasma to hopefully snipe off those sorcerers turn one.
Oh yeah.
Because if you do that, then the Zangors really don't have a good match against the flail and the other plague marines. And on the side of James, this is basically the exact same list he took against me, except instead of a warp flamer, he has a Soul Reaper cannon on the gunner.
Okay.
Um, Soul Reaper cannon, pretty decent draw. It is one of the few things that they can take that has okay odds against Plague Marines.
Yeah.
because that's going to be the real thing here is overcoming the plague marines. The poxwalkers are going to die to anything,
Mm-hmm.
but those plagues are that's going to be the issue for him. So could be
Yeah.
interesting.
Could be all single damage, so it does have a chance with these feel no pains on the other side with the Death Guard. Ryan, any initial thoughts here seeing the muster?
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Tom, and then yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing for both of these guys.
Okay.
Honestly, I think the double blight launchers is good on open board for the Dirty Boys, and then the Rubik Marine Gunner is an underrated model. So we'll see what it can do on this open board.
Absolutely. Yeah, I have played a little bit of Thousand Suns myself. I love that cannon, but it it's either been my MVP or a waste of points. It's never somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
It's always found. It's either it's really got to make that impact or it doesn't do what you brought it to do, and you get overwhelmed. This is interesting again for those of you watching who are a little bit confused about the double sorcerers. So a ruling made for this tournament to, I guess, help the Thousand Suns at 100 point. Not sure they needed the help. James Skinner here again in Twitch chat will tell you that they didn't, and that taking the Terminator Sorcerer is the way to go. But we are going to see two of them. I believe this is the first time on stream. As you mentioned, it's happened in the tournament already because we are in the second round. But the TO allowed for taking two of the Aspiring Sorcerers in this tournament and this format. It has been allowed. So that is why you're seeing two of those. And yeah, it gives them the two Cybolts without spending the points on the Terminator for Thousand Suns, allows them to continue to kind of take this Zangor spam, so to speak. Interestingly enough, too, he's taken a handful, three of them, three of his six Zangors. He went with the pistol and the chainsword, I believe. Yeah, the auto pistol and the chainsword. So he's got some guys that can shoot back, and especially against those Poxwalkers, I kind of like that, to be honest. Just looking at the musters right here, because those Poxwalkers are not very tough, and having a pistol rather than having nothing to shoot at them with, I kind of like. Although it's gonna deter him from doing the advances up the board. He can do that with his sword guys. So yeah, this is looking like an interesting muster to me. Have you guys both played your round two games yet, or what's the deal with your guys' round two so far?
Yeah, we both have. I played against Drakari with my Necrons. I got the dub,
Okay.
got the max score, so feeling pretty good. And Ryan, you can talk about yours. It just happened yesterday.
Yeah, I played. I'm playing Drakari, and I played Alex the Kid in his Altway Asciani, and I was able to win. I was
Ooh,
able to max, but I only won by 1 point.
wow, 18 to 17
Yeah,
game?
It was
yeah,
a
it
crazy
was
game.
That's
crazy.
insane.
It
Wow.
was probably one of the craziest games I've ever played.
Yeah, going into
That
turn 4, he was losing 14 to 12. It was wild to watch.
wow, that
He
is
scored 3
Yeah,
bounties, and
I was able to pick up 3 bounties, 2 points off the hold primary, and then um, one of my racks was able to survive 4 attacks from a striking scorpion, and was able to secure me my final engage on all fronts point.
wow.
Insane.
That's wild. And I mean, I'm sure at least it was a good game, right? At least I'm sure Alex not feeling so great about that. This is his, return to kill team. He had to go against the Necrons last week. Then he goes up against one of the other, top players and Drukari, which is the meta that he skipped out on because he hasn't been around for that. He missed out on the Drukari meta, so now he's getting to catch up with it. But 18 to 17, what a close game. I wish I had seen that. Wish we had casted that. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow. Okay. So how do you guys feel about this open board so far? Now that you've both gotten to play one round on it, what are your thoughts here, Shane, on this open board? How do you feel about it?
I have mixed feelings about it. Coming straight out of TAO, I didn't mind it because I think it's a lot better than TAO.
Yeah.
But having played on it for a while now, I do realize that obviously isn't the bar we should be setting open boards to. It's a little bit punishing. It's a little bit too open for my tastes.
Hmm.
I think there needs to be a little bit more LOS blocking, and it's way too easy to get those crazy good deep strikes into your own board edge on your deployment zone for free, and
Yeah.
just get free shots
Yeah.
around the map. But outside of that, this board in particular kind of has some interesting dynamics. with the outside objectives being wide open,
Mm-hmm.
and then the middle objective being pretty protected, if not for the fact that it's kind of in such a high, like, I guess what's the word I'm looking for? There's going to be a lot of models there. It's going to
Oh
be the
yeah.
place where they go. But it's protected with terrain, and then obviously you have your own objective in your deployment zone that's a bit safer. It's interesting. It's definitely, it creates some interesting dynamics, I guess.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. Yeah, I looked at this board, and I mean, I kind of a little bit was rubbing my hands together as a Tau player looking at this board. I understand why Tau
Oh,
won.
I'm sure.
I understand why
I'm sure
Tau
you
won
were.
Nova last year. Like looking at this board, I'm like, I'm not generally a 3-rail guy. I'm a 2-rail guy. But looking at this board, I was like, why would I not run 3 rails, right? Yeah, it's quite wide open. There's very little completely LOS blocking terrain. It's a lot of obscuring terrain, which is nice. Yeah, but these outside objectives, there's so much that goes into board design. Obviously, I've talked to you guys about this. We've talked to, I've talked to Beernit about this, and it's one of those things where I don't think every player or every team is going to be happy with, like, I don't think you can find one board design open board that every team or every player is going to be happy with. But I do
Yeah,
think, as you mentioned, we can bring the bar up a little bit. So shout out again. This is based off of Nova, and this is what they've been doing, and it's a lot different too with the hold, hold, hold. Going back to that from having done hold one, hold more, kill more, and then doing hold one, hold more, kill one. This is, there's so many factors that go into it. So I don't want to, strictly say, this is worse or that's better, but there's so many design elements that go into a packet and into a board. On that note, Ryan, considering you don't really have many guns on your team, I'm pretty sure it's racks on racks on racks. How did you
it
feel
is.
this board served you as a non-shooting team?
Well, it's funny you say that. It is racks on racks on racks, but some of those racks are indeed strapped. So some of them have got liquefiers. I've brought an Asa factor, and one of them actually has the I'm forgetting the Asa, not the Asa factor, the Hellas hex rifle. I think it's the hex rifle.
Sure, why not?
Um, yeah, and it they perform well on this open board.
Yeah.
Um, got some mandrakes on there too. They enjoy these open firing lanes all over the place. But like, even with the racks, um, with the 4-ups, with the 4-up save they get when you take them as the Prophets of Flesh subfaction,
Yeah.
you don't really care what's shooting you
Yeah, four
unless
up
it's
four
something
up
like a hot
invul
shot volley gun.
four up
Because it's
invul
like,
makes you feel
okay,
good.
yeah, you're a lot more free to. It's a lot more forgiving for you, just
Yeah.
putting guys out in the open, and it's like, yeah, sure, try.
Doesn't hurt to have a feel no pain sitting in your back pocket either, right? So
Yeah. And
yeah.
while this map is wide open, and it's very hard to keep your models protected from being shot off the board, there are some places on the board where you are able to completely obscure models, but it's all about context. It's all about what angles your opponent is looking at your models from and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
it's hard to play on.
I will admit, interesting here, just a note quickly on the deployment is I was expecting this Rubik Marine Gunner to start in reserve. Mind you, as you mentioned, there's a lot of open lanes here. Even if you start it on the board and you move it, you're probably going to have at least one or two shots open to you. But with this, when you only have so much shooting, and that's like, one of your more expensive models, I would have liked to started him in reserve and been able to bring him in and give him the shot that I wanted in my deployment zone. How do you guys feel about that? And do you expect that to be the case for these Death Guard gunners?
I would say that I mean, it looks like to me what he wants to do is since it's its only gunner, he wants it to set on that objective and be obscured by this wall.
Hmm.
Um, I can kind of see him not putting it in reserve. If I was Tom, I'm definitely putting one of those blight launchers in reserve if I can,
Okay.
if not both of them.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's putting the demo down right now.
Yeah, he does appear to be. All right. Well, let's revisit these secondaries. So again, domination, thin their ranks, recon sweep, cut apart, scout the field, death from afar. Let's jump over and take a look at what our boy Tom LaRochelle has taken. He has scout the field, domination, and cut apart. So kind of what we expected, right?
Yeah, that's two out of three, I think, if I'm remembering
Yeah.
correctly. Scout the
Yeah.
field. He better be putting something in deployment, or excuse me, something in reserve
Reserve.
if he wants to and use outflank if he's
Yeah.
trying to get scout the field.
I mean, these are
Because
some
his
slow
guys,
models. Yeah.
yeah, they are slow. They're not that slow when they're advancing, so maybe that's what he's thinking. He's also got him lined up along on the edges there. You'll notice that. The Plague Marine Gunner that he's putting down right now is the two Poxwalkers over, I guess, on the left of his deployment, if you're looking at it from his side.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be bringing anything from reserve because the last model he has to deploy is his Plague Champion.
Yeah, I'd hope he doesn't make that
Unless
mistake.
unless he's doing something crazy like not starting with that model on the board and starting with one CP.
CP.
That would be questionable.
Yeah, I
That
could
would
see him
be a
doing it.
Tom.
Like I
That would be
said,
a
he's a
Tom move.
maverick.
Yeah, that would be a Tom
Absolutely, it
move.
would absolutely be a Tom move.
Um,
All right, so he's fully deployed. Yeah, good luck getting scout, Tom. I don't know.
yeah, it's going to be tough. I remember the first time I played my Death Guard, somebody at the store tried to tell me because their movement was 4, that the max I could get on an advance was 4. Obviously, I found out quickly that that wasn't the case, but the first time I played my Death Guard, that is what I was told by somebody. So they only got to
Yeah.
move max 8
Like they're not
inches.
slow enough already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
We all have those sorts of stories.
yeah, let's take a look really quick at James' secondaries here. He has taken Cut Apart, Scout the Field, and Death from Afar. So similar in Scout the Field and Cut Apart, but he has taken Death from Afar. Thoughts on that? I mean, I don't know what is the range on his big gun.
It's 24. I mean, that's not. You've only got 3 guns in the whole list. 2 of them are pistols. You don't take Death from Afar here.
Excuse me, he has 6 guns. 3 of his Zangors have pistols.
You're right.
So
I have been embarrassed tonight.
That's the first caveman move this evening.
Yeah,
it's the first caveman move.
I will say though, adding 3 more pistols to that gun list does not make me feel better about Death from Afar. On his secondaries, they have rolled their initiative here, and it looks like JamesK and his Thousand Sons have 1 initiative, so they will be going first.
Yep.
Rolled an advance here, and he's rolling out with these Zangors. Yeah, so interesting secondary pull there. Cut Apart makes sense with all those Zangors, right? Scout the Field makes sense again. He's got a decent number of models. I really would like to have seen the Scout the Field and Domination paired for both of them. I know it's tough, but like it's you can just revolve your whole team around that center objective. That's the way I like to look at it anyway,
That's
right?
true.
Because then you can focus on that. And we saw in our game, the last game that we casted, right, how much those secondaries came into play, right? Our Shane's protege, Manko, right? He had the lead in primaries. He had hold more for 2 straight turns, and it turned on him. He just did not have the secondaries that he needed to take the win. I think he lost by 2 points, was it?
Yeah, something like that. It was real close in the end.
Have you guys had your film session yet?
No, I haven't gotten a
Film
chance to
session.
speak with him.
All right. Well, they're getting going here. What do you expect to see out of these Thousand Sons? You've played against them. You've seen the muster now. You've seen his secondaries. What do you think as another player? If you were playing these Thousand Sons, what are you looking to do? What are your win conditions here, other than staying out of range with your big gun?
Well, I mean, you want to set up the fights between Zangors and Poxwalkers. So if you can do that, it's you're probably in good shape. Beyond that, you need your sorcerers cybolting Plague Marines. That is crucial. If that can happen, you can win the game straight up, because once the Plague Marines go down, the rest of the team can't compete, just straight up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Ryan, on the opposite side, Tom is the Maverick. You couldn't predict before, but now you've seen the muster, you've seen the secondary pull. what are you looking to do here if you're the Death Guard player? Are you trying to get into combat with these guys as well and tie them up? Are you trying to avoid them? Obviously, he's the only one of the two with domination. So, what are you looking to do if you're this Death Guard team?
Yeah, I'm looking to get as many of those Poxwalkers that he's deployed on his objective onto the middle point there to secure domination. And at the same time, make sure that I'm putting Poxwalkers in between my Plague Marines and his aspiring sorcerers. That way they can eat all those Cybolts.
Yeah, absolutely. Um,
That's basically his keys to victory right there.
All right, yeah. Get those Poxwalkers into domination and keep those Cybolts off of your Marines. Sounds like a plan to me. Unlike with big scary guns, you can't shoot my Marines if the Poxwalker is the closest thing to you, and I don't have to spend money on Cloud of Flies, which is an overcosted tactic. Janice, looking at you, if you're out there,
What?
get that. I'm saying with your normally if there's big guns, you have to use Cloud of Flies and it's 2 CP. It's overcosted.
Oh,
Shout out Janice. I need that changed because I know she's on the committee for Kill Team
I'm
Change.
sure Janice definitely has a high. She's the one who makes the decisions over
Yeah,
at GW,
I think
as we
so.
all know.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
they
definitely.
brought her in to make Death Guard decisions, right? She's a Death Guard player.
Her
Um,
dad is the vice president of
there you go.
Games Workshop. Yeah.
Is that the old one where like my dad is works for Nintendo, so
Yeah, that's
you're
exactly it. That's exactly it.
yeah.
There it is.
Uh, good old. It's an old meme, but it
So,
checks out. Okay. So still in the movement phase here, turn one for these Thousand Suns. Yeah, looking like exactly what we expected. Move those Angors up the board. Looks like he's preparing that Zealot for potentially a turn two charge. Yeah, not a whole lot going on yet. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing quite all right. I'm excited to see how Tom uses those blight launchers over here. I'm kind of excited for it.
is so James has gone ahead and readied up his aspiring sorcerer leader, just sitting in the backfield. Um, I I don't these. Oh man, I'm not liking the moves from the aspiring sorcerers right now. I think he's got to be more aggressive with them.
Yeah. Um, I mean, they're pretty strong in combat too, right? And especially against a
Yeah.
Poxwalker, I wouldn't be
Does
too afraid. There's really
does
only
James
one.
have?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Does James have cut apart?
James does have cut apart.
I was
Yes,
gonna say those are kind of the models that you would. I mean, that granted, these Zangors are perfectly capable of scoring it for him, but
especially
those
against
those
Poxwalkers. Yeah.
yeah, those Sorks are pretty good with in the melee combat, especially because oh no, one of them is neither of them are specialists. Well, one's the leader, but
Yeah.
all of his specialists are Zangors, I believe.
Yeah, when I've played them, I like to take the Twist Spray or whatever it is as the leader, and I actually run the Sorcerer as I've run him as a veteran, I've run him as a combat, just something to get him up into people's faces. Because the other thing is, if you get into combat with him, you're basically a free Cybo. So like, yeah, bring it on. Bring your big scary, cleaver or in this case flail, and charge me. Because not only will I get Overwatch with my flame pistol, depending on how close you are, but then I'll get to cybolt you because you're the closest model to me, and then I'll get to fight you potentially. So
Yeah.
I'd feel pretty good about that. Obviously, James has some other plans here. Interesting how far back he's keeping them when you consider that there's no deep strike threat on the other team, right? It's not like he's holding these back to zone out or to keep an eye on something that drops and, kill it with a cybolt early. He's got them positioned pretty interestingly. Maybe he's really scared of these blight launchers, which are scary guns, but I don't know that this is the play.
So with
So far, what? Oh, you go ahead,
I
Shane.
was just gonna say, I think so. These sorcerers are gonna have 21-inch range on the Cybolt. That's important to know. Um, is it even? I
Yes,
mean, will he
bonus
be
of
able
3, right?
to? That's probably a little bit too far for him to realistically just avoid it outright,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, oh yeah. You can't avoid it outright. The board is, you know, 30 inches long, so you'd have 9 inches, I think the deployments are 7 inches long, so you'd have if they were all the way at the very off the board, you'd have 2 inches. Um, Interesting thing here. Looks like Tom attempted a charge with that Zealot Poxwalker and failed it. He's got a charge token on him. So
Hmm.
did attempt to do that on probably those Zangors. You never know, right? Get a long bomb charge. Might as well give it a shot. And those Poxwalkers are out there to kind of pick up those Cybolts anyway, right? So who cares if he's out in the open?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
I
that. I
want to
like that
talk
play.
about Tom's choice for taking scout the field because I think I may have misunderstood the secondary because we see him
Oh,
advance his Poxwalker
hmm
all the way back here onto this board edge. Is he able to scout the field off models on the back of his edge even though they're in his deployment zone? Am I like misreading the secondary?
yes, but
Yeah.
it's just along this board edge. Only you can only score that once, so you can't sit in a corner and score 2. And I will admit that I have made my caveman
Okay.
move of the night. That I was thinking it was the 4 corners of the board, because I keep getting
Yeah.
those mixed up every time somehow. No matter how long I've been playing this game, I have gotten
Yeah,
those
okay.
mixed up.
So
So
I would like to formally retract my statement about that. That was a great secondary choice for Tom.
yeah, yeah. I was thinking center of the board, get all 4 corners and domination. That is not what we're running with. If only I had read, but again, I am alas but a caveman here, and I cannot read. So that's my caveman move for the night. Hopefully only the only one. But yeah, so they're both trying to stay within an inch of these board edges, which he has Poxwalkers lined up on one side to do, and I guess his gunner over here on this other board edge, because he does need a third board edge to do that. So yeah, big old caveman. All right, moving that Poxwalker up, having a little bit of redundancy there. Only one of them on the objective, but both of them, I believe, within an inch of that board edge, so that's good.
Yeah. So that's the kind of like bubble wrapping that I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing that also a little bit with his combat who advanced up here. He's got a Poxwalker in front of him.
Yeah. A little bit worried about these side objectives, though, because I'm trying to look. Let's take a look from these sorcerers. I guess it is the closest model you can see. So that's
That's
something
correct.
that you always want to try to take advantage of against Psychic. And as a Psychic player, obviously here he had the initiative. He didn't have that chance. But when you lose initiative as a Grey Knights player in my history, I love it, especially on Arena. You can
Ooh.
set up all kinds of angles where like the farthest model now becomes the closest model that you can see, and pop goes the weasel.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of angles, I just want to say I don't know if Tom's meaning to do this, but this position for this demo is really nice because he can see both sorcerers, but he can't be seen by the Rubric Marine Gunner.
oh, he's got this little wall of protection here, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Big fan of that.
Oh, they pulled the wrong thing.
Uh-oh.
All right. See, I asked them to pull the deployments because I forgot which button it was too, and I didn't want to be the one to remove something wrong. Um, yeah, it does look like. Just I'm trying to see. Yeah, because the barrel is covered right there. You go right here, he doesn't see him. And I'm trying to go to the back side of this gunner model on his backpack, and yeah, I don't think that he gets the angle. He might from the tube of the backpack, but it depends on what they've agreed upon, right?
Yeah.
And also, I'm getting a little bit lost up in that aspiring sorcerer model when I'm in there with my camera. Um, that is one thing I do miss too. My little top-down laser that I have. Do you guys have those? I love that thing. That's like
Yep.
I
Yeah.
bought that thing. I ran out that battery so quick because I just used it in every instance. I was like, okay, here you go, here you go. Especially for arena when you don't have those 3D walls like we do here, and it's just the 2D. That laser kills it. That's from not that we're sponsored here, but
Army
Army
Painter
Painter.
is
Yes,
the one
Army
that I
Painter
had.
laser.
Yeah.
That's the one that I have too. Yeah, a bunch of us asked for them at the local shop. I think pre LVO or pre SoCal Open last year, and they ordered a bunch of them, and everybody bought them like the moment they got them in stock too. So I think you can get them on Amazon as well. Obviously, we're not playing in person right now because of the state of the world, but look into it. They're very cool. It's a top-down laser, so it's a straight line projected onto the board, and you can kind of see, gives you a better idea other than just with your eye of whether or not
For
one model can see
drawn
another.
line of sight. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And if anybody says that, the laser isn't a straight line or something, because I've heard people
What?
say that, tell them they're an idiot.
What? You had somebody tell you your
Yeah.
laser wasn't a straight line?
Yeah.
Or like wasn't a perfect like down to the point
It's
zero
like,
zero
well,
zero 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 zero
no,
zero.
it's just, if anybody tries to disagree with the laser, they're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
Yeah.
all we got to say about that.
I could just imagine somebody like with like a mirror trying to bend the laser around a corner. Like, all right. Well, yeah, top-down laser, super awesome, very useful tool for kill team. Obviously, in this we can just draw lines like this, so not as big of a deal. I believe we are getting into the shooting phase now. All of Tom's models have moved, and yeah, they are looking at. Oh, is that one of our pistol boys, or what's going on here? Not sure.
All the Zangors except the two on like closest to the board edges have advanced. So if one of them's going to shoot, but I mean, we should be starting off with the Rubik Marine Gunner.
Yeah, readied. He's
So
got
I
both of
think
them readied, but the sword. Oh, well, psychic phase, huh? Psychic phase. What are we talking about, boys? Psychic phase.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Well within range, if he can see him, and it looks like from his staff, he can.
Yeah.
Hanging out in that window right there. Poor little Poxy, gonna feel the wrath.
Feeling like there's a very specific reason for why he chose that model.
Yeah, right, with his
With
staff
his
pushed
staff
out there.
pointed
Yeah.
all the way out there.
Hey, here's our psychic test.
Oh.
He fails.
Ooh.
Not a
My
gray knight,
gosh.
so that's a 4. That's I
Yeah.
gotta tell you, as a psychic
Wow.
player, that is rough when it's supposed to be your free round.
Oh
And
man.
will he use a CP here? He has used his. So now, if he blows himself up, there's no reroll.
Way to jinx him.
Okay, no.
There he gets it.
Yeah, I will admit though, I will tell you that as a Grey Knight player, I mean, one, I wouldn't have had to re-roll that because they hit on a 4 because they have +1 to it. But I
Yeah.
have had instances where I re-roll that first one and then automatically, okay, flesh wound. Flesh wound on that Poxwalker. I wonder if he will use the tactic. Yeah, it looks like he is brain fluid, leaky brain fluid. So he has a flesh wound, but he will not need to take any leadership tests, I believe, correct? Is that how it goes? It should be here. Leaky brain fluid. There we go. Use this tactic when a poxwalker from your kill team suffers a flesh wound. For the rest of the battle, you do not have to take nerve tests for this model. Super good.
For the rest of the battle.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I forgot about that bit. That's
super
crazy.
good. Especially when you consider their leadership is what, 4? Yeah,
Yeah.
leadership 4. That's super good. Really, really good tactic for them.
You kind of want it to happen.
Yeah. But yeah, this. Oh man, I was totally expecting. Okay, here's the second psychic. Let's see. Doesn't have that reroll. Ah, nobody's blowing up. Not yet, anyway. I actually had a game at LVO where I rolled double ones or double sixes.
Tom makes the 5-up feel no pain.
Oh, he does. All right. That Poxwalker's A-OK. He just absorbed that Cybolt and moved on with his life. So we're going to go to shooting now. So readied model. So will be this Rubik Marine Gunner because I don't believe the Sorcerer has range on anything with his pistol. Yeah, he's got a 12-inch pistol. No range for him. Oh, wait. Huh?
No. He pinged the gunner. He's gonna have his gunner shoot into the demo Plague Marine Gunner.
Oh, okay.
That's what he's working right now.
Yeah, it was red pinging, so I wasn't sure why. I thought it was him shooting his Death Guard first, but okay, he was just showing what was being shot. But yeah, I had a game where I think I rolled double sixes or double ones like 3 or 4 times, and it was absolutely insane. But you have to save for that reroll, especially as Grey Knights, because I don't have all these crazy
Oh, okay.
birds running around.
So
Guided by
he's
Future.
using.
Okay,
Yes. Shane, do you remember what Guided by Future does? It's like
it's
plus
reroll.
one.
He's going to reroll all failed hits for this
Yeah,
model.
Oh,
it's a
wow.
It's a
Okay.
disgustingly good tactic, especially at 125 points where people roll the Scarab Lord Terminator Gunner with his huge gun and the missile racks. Because if you play the tactic, it works for both weapons, so all of your shots re-roll to hit. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. Love it. Uh, yeah.
It
uh,
is it is definitely strong, especially if that's the only gunner that he has. He wants to get value out of that gunner, so I get the idea.
mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Definitely worthwhile, and you want to take out that enemy gunner, right? You need to get that's one of the biggest threats
Yeah.
on the board for Tom.
For sure, yeah.
Okay. They must be discussing something.
Yeah. You know it's bad when Benji's calling you a caveman. Damn. Tough start to the night, guys.
Oh,
uh, uh, yeah. Interesting start so far. Feels like as a thousand. I know as a Grey Knights player, right? Mind you, again, smaller team, don't have these crazy wacky mutant birds running around for you. You've just got 5 or 6 mediocre compared to lore Marines. But your psychic phase, you 100% need that to do damage. Like if you're not taking
Yeah.
one model out a turn with your 2 Cybolts, you feel like you feel it. You feel the fall behind. So here with
Yeah.
the double aspiring sorcerers, still not the best case for him to not have taken out either of these models with a flesh wound and one feel no pain. But I'd say because he's got the birds in support and now he's got this gunner taking some shots, doesn't have to feel as bad about it. Okay, so 2 hits, and he's going to re-roll these other 2 dice here. So it looks like a total of, I think, 3 hits. I don't think that 3 hits, yeah,
Yeah.
because of obscured.
He is obscured.
Yeah. Don't believe he's getting
This
the
is
long range
strength
here.
5 against toughness 5, so needing 4s. Only one goes
Gets
through.
1. Okay.
This is AP3, I believe, on the
I
Soul
think
Reaper
it's
cannon.
AP2. No, it is AP3. You're
It's
right.
no, it's AP3. Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets a 6 up, and then he gets a 5 up, feel no pain. And he sticks the 6
And
up.
it's the 6. Oh my
Wow.
goodness,
Okay, so
that is a lot of feels bad for James turn 1.
yeah. So I was just saying how it doesn't feel too bad because you've got this gunner to follow it up and things like. And now with that tactic, you manage to get 3 hits in. You're only able to wound on one, and he sticks the save. So now, basically, your 3 best chances of killing something turn 1 are done with, or your 3 only chances. I don't know if he advanced some of those guys with pistols. He might get some shots. It looks like he regular moved the 2 pistols, so he will get some
Yeah.
pistol shots still to follow it up. I don't believe either of the aspiring sorcerers are close enough to use their pistols. Um,
No.
yeah, it's going to be a tough ask for him to get a kill here, which isn't 100% necessary. Of course, he wants to get these birds into combat, but it still doesn't feel great, right? You always want to be, it's kind of this tug of war, right? Like, you said in your round 2 game you were down going into turn 4, you managed to have that big tug back and you ended up winning the game. You got 3 bounties in one turn. There's absolutely things like that can happen, but you want to keep that tug of war as close as possible. And you just had 2 Cybolts and 4 shots from a Soul Reaper cannon take nothing off the board. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not all bad for him though. He is going to be holding more. So he'll be getting that at least. Well, actually, that's not guaranteed. That's assuming that his Twist Spray Medic Specialist, interesting choice, remains alive on that center objective.
Yeah.
Um, Not sure if that demo Plague Marine is within 3 of the center, and I don't want to measure it now. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
but probably is also going to be denying Tom domination.
Yeah.
So he'll be up on points, I think, at the end of this.
Yeah. I'll admit I will throw it out there. And again, bit of a loose cannon. People play differently. I have been a guilty of this myself as a Tau player with my rail rifles. I want to take out their thing. That Soul Reaper cannon's already shot. If you're looking at points
Yeah.
on the board, that medic is the clear target right here, right? You take it off that objective,
Yeah.
or these twist sprays that are on this objective that are threatening to come into combat next round. I feel like those should be the goal for this first round of shooting, maybe, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Definitely
not.
have that demo spec. Definitely have that demo spec try to blow the twist spray off the center objective.
Yeah. So we're
That
getting it.
way, you're bringing it down from he's holding more to you are both going to be holding one and contesting the other two at the peripherals of the map.
Yeah, so we are getting the shot here. It's AP2 on the Blight Launcher. This is a save right here. He sticks his save. So his Rubik Marine Gunner lives to fight another day. Not able to get it through with that 6-up save. So we will go back, and I think our pistols are going to shoot.
Yeah, probably that twist spray right here, shooting
Over
into
here.
the
Zangor, yeah, with the
yeah,
pistol. Okay, yeah.
shooting into that flesh wounded Poxwalker, trying to get him off, solidify that hold more.
Yeah, not generally a fan of those pistols myself, although I've seen las guns and I've seen things like that do work, right? I had a single model in one game when I was playing Deathwatch. With their las gun, they killed like one of my guys in Overwatch, I think, and then in combat, with the butt of their gun, they somehow killed one of my Marines, and then they blew themselves up with like a satchel charge or something that denied me points as well. So those models, the cheap models, can sometimes are worth their weight, or like 3 times their weight in points in gold. If that incoherent rambling made any sense. But I don't generally like those pistols, but against Poxwalkers, I'd say they are an effective
They're
option.
decent.
Yeah.
They're decent. Yeah.
All right, we're getting Plasma. I wonder if he's overcharging here. Well, nothing.
Okay.
If he was overcharging, he survived.
Yeah, could have been worse. Could have been double ones.
Oh yeah.
Really would have liked to seen him take a shot at the medics back again.
See, yeah, no. Again, here we go with the.
It's not a threat to you, but try to kill these models that are on the points here. And James just disconnected, so we're gonna have to hold off and wait for him to get back in here.
Take a little.
So right now, I think James he'll be up on points, but he's definitely behind in his victory condition.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Definitely makes sense, and definitely, I mean, I understand, right? When you look at this board, if you're able to take out that Aspiring Sorcerer, if you're able to take out that Rubik Marine, you are now left with basically a bunch of birds on the board that I think you feel okay about dealing with for the rest of the game. But at the same time, you're looking at the points on the board. Okay, if you kill one of these side Zangors on that objective, you take that objective. Or if you kill that one in the center, you help yourself with domination. You help yourself with both getting hold one instead of hold one, hold more for the Thousand Suns right now. Like there's a lot more at play on those other models than simply the guys in the back shooting you.
Yeah, for sure. Man. Okay. So let's take a look at points here. Saying failed to. Okay. That's
That sounds like some TTS nonsense. I'm gonna have him try to restart his game if we need to. If that doesn't work, we can rehost a save. But that sounds like some.
Are there any questions in chat? Any comments in chat that we can perhaps answer during the downtime here?
Whopper has claimed that Skinner is DDoSing James.
That's
he's restarting the game right now. Okay, so we'll see what's up. But
my
yeah, let's see. Okay, there's some some talking going on between. We have Ben, Whopper, and James in the chat right now going at it, which is an interesting group. I look forward to drinking with the lot when we can get back to in-person tournaments. That'll be a fun group to have a drink with after our day worth of games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see here. Yeah. Shane, what are your thoughts on the board state right now about that turn one so far?
I mean, it's been a lot of whiffing on both sides. It's not terrible. I think Tom still has another blight launcher that he can shoot. So I mean, we'll see how that goes for him. That could earn him a point right there.
Okay, I am going to have to save this, and we are going to try rehosting. So give me one moment. All right, you guys talk, do your thing. I'm going to figure this out.
Okay.
Ryan, what do you think of the board state right now?
I mean, it's definitely in Tom's favor at this point. He's just gotta he just needs one more turn to move up onto all those middle objectives. And if he keeps his Plague Marines bubble wrapped, he's gonna be fine. That Plague Marine gunner on the, I guess, like the right side of the board for Tom is he'll be able to put some effective shots onto those Zangors. One of the Zangors. Prefer to see him shoot into the combat specialist.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see that coming.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to take something off the board here. That would definitely be in his interest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So just waiting for the info.
It is the same info as before.
Okay.
I've rehosted it with the save here. We should be good to go. I have to set back up my picture-in-picture.
Oh, I'm also getting that same error code.
Oh.
Failed to connect.
Oh, no, I think the whole server must have just crashed.
Well, wait.
Oh, TTS crashed?
The server.
Oh.
Like you guys can't get in on the same info right now?
Let me try to find it.
Tom just connected. So.
Yeah, let me see if I can get back in.
Well, I exited. I just rehosted it with the same name and everything.
There, I'm back in.
All right, Shane's in, Tom's in. Sorry about this, guys. Technical difficulties. Just imagine somebody flipped the board if we were in person, basically, you know?
Bumped into the table.
Benji says just call it. He gets to win WWO. This is one game in round 2, Benji. I don't think calling this would give you the tournament. I could be wrong.
You're not even in it.
Yeah, I'm
not even in it.
Oh, he's not even in it?
No. He's not playing this game. Like, this isn't the game he's in.
Yeah.
It's Tom and James playing.
Let me promote everybody here. Looks like James is back in. You guys are back in. All right, so we should be good to go. All right, I'm going to pull back up the game, make sure. Okay, we appear to be good, so I'm going to jump back into the game here. Here we go.
Yeah, James, please stop DDoSing James during our streams.
Yeah, not helpful. Not helpful.
Not helpful.
Elk Knuckle calling for a refund. I didn't know we were charging people for this. Are you guys charging a sub fee to watch games? I need in on this revenue, you guys. Come on, I'm unemployed right now. Yeah, I don't know what kind of refund you want, Elk. Can't help you.
Shame they found us out.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. So that was the Blight launcher into the Zangor combat specialist. Exactly what I wanted to see happen. Both of those, I thought those were hit rolls, and now they are not.
What was he shooting at? I didn't even see.
The Plague Marine gunner into the Zangor combat specialist. Well, it looks like he's making a save now. Those must have been the hit, and then these were the wounds. So here comes the save.
All right, yeah. And he sticks
And
it.
uh,
5 up invuln, baby. All these invuln saves. What was GW thinking? Hey, speaking of what was GW thinking, while
hey,
we have a
I
little
like the
interim
influence
right, while we
saves.
have an interim right now, a little bit. I mean, we should have been talking about this. What are you guys' thoughts here? I'm sure you guys have a podcast or a YouTube video or something coming out about it, so you don't have to talk too much about it. But how much to heart are you guys taking that they are going to make every model from the Indominus box available in Kill Team? Do you think we're getting motorcycles and giant robots? Well, I mean, I guess they're already giant robots, but do you think we're getting motorcycles in Kill Team? If so, yay or nay? How do you feel about it?
Okay,
I
Shane, do you want to
don't.
start?
Yeah, I don't feel about it because I don't think we're gonna get that. I think whoever wrote that article
Yeah.
um, might want to get a talking to. I
Nah, they
don't know.
won't. It's the same guy who's
Yeah,
still
they're
employed
true.
who wrote on their Facebook page that they were giving everybody something in Elites. So it's that same guy, and he still works there and still doesn't know what's going on. All right. Looks like we are doing our round 1 scoring. Um, there is that domination checker. And yeah,
Yeah.
Tom will
So
not be
as you
getting
can
it.
see, Tom's not going to get that.
Yeah. And now, more or less, he has just given away the fact that he is running that, right? When you pull that
Yep.
out and you check.
Yep.
So if he wasn't, I mean, to be fair, right, as James, you got to look at this team and see the Poxwalkers and expect that to begin with. And I think he did, which is why he sent 2 models there. But yeah. Okay, so they have scored. So we got the hold more for James, which again could have been avoided there had Tom put some shots into some other models. And they both got scout the field. So I'm going to change this one to scout the field here. There we go. So 2-4 after 1 round, going into round 2.
Tom is
Exciting.
up on command points. He's got 3. James has got 2. Okay. Who won the initiative for this? James?
I believe James did.
Yeah,
Unless
looks
did he
like it.
move his
Okay.
dice? Okay, I thought he did, but he moved the dice, I think, or he didn't move the dice, and I don't know. Or wait, did you say you think James won or Tom won? Gosh.
James.
Okay. Oh, and we just had James
Wow. Okay.
disconnected again. Hmm. Interesting.
Okay.
Let's see what happens here if he can reconnect. I don't know what Tom's doing with his dice board here.
Yeah, he
Broke it.
yeah.
Could be.
All right, so a little bit of break in the action here, boys. We have another DC. We're gonna try to figure this out. Get back to you. You know, there's too much heresy involved, is what it is. The Chaos Gods are
I think so. The
getting
Omnissiah
involved.
is upset,
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah.
Okay, so James is back.
Back. All right,
Yeah,
I like that.
back to talking about the Indominus box a little bit.
Yeah, the important stuff.
I think it. I can't see Scorpack destroyers or bikers making their way into Kill Team
Mhm.
without equivalent models from other sets also being talked about.
Mhm.
So the article they put out today, it was obviously focused on assault intercessors and Necron warriors. So, I mean, I can, on one hand, I can see it, but don't get too excited and think every single model is gonna get rules in Kill
Yeah.
Team,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's just that seems too literally game breaking for me.
This
I
summer,
guess.
I mean, I remember when Elites came out, right? And the whole meme was of the community at that tournament anyway at BAO was like, what are we gonna get next? Kill Team Fast Attack? Like this is just building into 40k. And if bikes come in and if equivalent models come in, then it is that, right? And that's that's what we feared all the way back then. I don't think that'll be the case. Based on what I've heard from people who are close to things, you know, who are testing things, like it seems, or you know, the rumor mill, as you will, it doesn't seem like that'll be the case because I think all of those people would advise against such a thing. But yeah,
Yeah, believe it when you see it when it comes to Games Workshop and the rules that they write.
It's a hit on Overwatch there from Tom.
Ooh.
I think a wound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does appear to be.
5 up invuln.
Does not get
Does
it.
not get it.
And this will be a D3 damage. Gets the
3
3.
damage.
3
This is-
damage. Wow.
This is most likely a model going out. And if you're
Needs a
Tom, you
5,
re-roll this. And there's the 5. I mean,
Gets it.
I would have re-rolled it anyway, all things considered, with 3 dice. But all right.
All right.
First casualty of the game. That medic goes out on
First
Overwatch.
blood.
Yeah. I get exciting way for something to go out. Not what you want to see. I probably would have if the combat or the zealot rather, if the zealot had a blind charge there. I'm not sure that he did, but I might have wanted to have started with that. It kind of looks like he would have had a blind charge here. I'm not 100%. I guess maybe from this side of the model, maybe he
I
can
think
see
his
a little bit.
beak
Just
might be
peeking out,
peeking
yeah.
out just a little bit. Yeah.
Or one of his axes or something. But
yeah, that was pretty big for Tom to get the kill on the Overwatch there. It basically prevented James from blocking a lot of his models being able to just freely flow into that center point.
yeah. And was
So,
that actually
yeah.
was that a decisive move? I think that might have been a decisive move.
I do not believe so.
I don't know. Tom's down
Because
to 2
both
CP,
players
so I
are
don't know
still
what
sitting at
happened.
2 CP.
Well,
Well,
Tom
but
had 3 at the start.
I thought James had 3.
No,
No,
I believe it was
Tom had 3.
Tom had 3. I don't know what he spent it on because it doesn't look like he decisive moved.
Yeah, but then how is he now charging if the other guy charged before?
Maybe they decisive moved and then they just rolled off.
And in that case,
That
James
must
should
have
be at
been.
1.
And look at the model that's moving right now. It's the Plague Marine Fighter. So I assume
Yeah,
this is what we're seeing here
I'm
is
just
Tom's
saying
decisive move.
James should be at 1 then. James has not put himself at
true.
1.
James used the guided by futures past or whatever. What else did he use in turn 1?
I don't know, but he started turn 2 with 2. And Tom
He had
started
to use a
3, so-
reroll for the Cybolt.
Oh,
that
okay.
failed.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so that would have been his 2.
So he should be down to 1 CP.
Okay.
And Tom,
Struggling to get this model into position, but
yep,
yeah,
as is
the way of Tabletop Simulator.
yeah.
Yeah, Whopper, that will be a big deal as well if the changes from Big Hammer come over, like the Chainsword, which they mentioned in the article, having that armor penetration. Is that just going to be on those assault models? Is that going to be on all models with Chainswords? He's mentioning the Storm Shield being a +1 armor save, and the 4+ invuln. I thought it was just a plus to armor. Is it both now? Is that what they, or is that just on those?
They changed the Storm Shield so that it gives you a +1 to your base armor save, and then it gives you a 4-up invulnerable save instead of
Okay.
a 3-up invulnerable save.
Okay.
And then the Astartes chain swords were the only chain swords to get an
Okay.
armor penetration characteristic. So like your Heretic Astartes models, your Space Marines, those guys are going to be getting the AP. I don't believe like you'll see Imperial Guard with AP1 chain swords. I don't think that's
Eldar also
that's
have a
going to happen.
chainsword, don't they? Or no? Am I
That's
crazy?
yeah, no, you're right. You're
Okay.
right about that. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if they have it in Kill Team, but that's
Well,
also
they were-
true.
Or yeah, it was like called Astartes Chainsword, so I
Oh,
would
okay.
imagine.
They call
Yeah.
it specifically something. I'm not
but
up on all
if-
the ninth changes, obviously. But yeah.
Yeah, if they come in and just drop assault intercessor rules and they don't go and update all the other Space Marine data sheets and all the other Heretic Astartes data sheets to reflect the changes to the Astartes chainsword, I'm personally going to be very upset.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's just going to be like, oh, cool, we got these new models, but once again, we're still behind on all these cool rules changes that have happened to this game that at this point is like 2 years ahead, 2.5 years ahead of the base Kill Team data sheets. We're missing out on a lot of content over here, I feel. Anyway, so that flail Plague Marine Fighter charged all the way onto the other point. I like that move a lot.
Yeah, I guess he couldn't fit through the middle is what they decided, which is why he had to
Yeah.
pull him back from that zealot and put him onto that
Yeah.
combat. To be
And
fair,
honestly, that's fine because
Yeah.
he can still put Poxwalkers on the point, backed up by the Plague Marine Gunners. So that's an okay move for Tom.
Okay, yeah. No, and it works because he declared both, so it works out for him. We had a
Smart.
little bit
Smart.
of a clunky move there, but it's finally done, and he is in on that combat. We are getting a so yeah, it was both decisive move, and they did a roll off, and it appears that James won it, did that charge, lost the model. Tom did his, and now it's going to James for initiative here. So this is
Yeah.
the rest of his turn, and it looks like Tom's gonna fall back with this Poxwalker. Not sure what's going on there. I guess he wants him to have to go around his Marine to get to him. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Not sure on the CP. If it comes into play, we can mention it. I did mention it in chat just because we were trying to figure out how it was spent. He should be at 1, as
Yeah.
you mentioned, but we'll see as long as it doesn't come into play. Like using too many timeouts in a football game. Let's see. Remember that during the year where they had the replacement refs? How many times that happened? I remember that.
Using.
Uh, yeah, where they didn't keep track of them properly. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree. The updates as far as ninth to Kill Team. I see we have some people saying they want Kill Team to stay its own thing. I don't want every single
I do
change,
too. I
but
don't want. Yeah.
yeah, I think you can keep Kill Team its own thing while reflecting the changes to models and things like that. You don't have to change tactics, you don't have to change
Yes.
the way the game plays, but keep the models
Exactly.
consistent so that the same models that you're using in Big Hammer work the same way in Kill Team. It will be difficult for some of that. It would require a bit of a 2.0, as we've discussed before, just because things like Poxwalkers, no feel, no pain anymore, right? Like it
Yeah.
would
A
completely change
huge
Death Guard.
update. Huge
But
update for sure.
yeah, so we'll see what happens, but it will get to a point where, as we've seen with like to some degree, right, with the Imperial Guard or the what are they called now, Astra Militarum, with like right, they've gotten all these cool models from Dark Fortress or Black Fortress, and it's been a bit of a power creep, and you could see the same thing with Marines and Necrons, right? If they're the only ones who get these like new, cool, powerful models with like, although that's not a new tactic, I guess that's already a tactic that Necrons had, right? The one that they put in the article
Yeah, the brand
Yeah,
new
they just
tactic.
updated
That's
it.
a year. It's a brand new tactic that's a year old.
from the annual, yeah.
Yeah,
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah,
love to see that.
well, it's like when they put the article about how to make a Sisters of Battle kill team, and they included things like taking more than one Repentia, which in the rules that they printed in the annual is not a possibility, right? So, I think charge rolls there. I don't know if he makes it. Looked like 6.3 in. That's if he went straight. He has to go around that. I don't think he's going to get in. I believe that was some more Overwatch made. None of them hit. I don't know about going straight up. Is that what's going on right now? Is everybody else seeing this? I didn't even know
He's
you could.
ascending.
I didn't know you could measure like that. Like I didn't know what just happened.
He is ascended. I have no idea what's going on with that Zanker right now. It's a 5-inch. It must have been a charge because he rolled 2 die. Um, I don't think 5 inches is enough for him to get. Oh, maybe. Mm,
I don't think he's got the distance here. Maybe moving him up, just taking
no,
that. Yeah,
no.
yeah, keeping him in a little bit of
Just enough
cover.
to get on. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. There we go. CP
move
change has
that
been
max
made.
charge distance. Get on the point. Try to stay on the. Try to stay in cover, I guess. I think we'll see a charge from his leader after the Poxwalkers go in onto that Zangor to kind of deal the killing blow with that power fist. Oh no, could that have been the cause? The reason James kept DCing was because he
Tried to lower his
used the
CP.
command point counter. I hope not. That
Yeah.
would be
I
another
feel like
bug.
that would have come up in his first round game against you, but who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, no, it would have. All right. So not the charges that James has been looking for. He failed one, and the other poor Zangor was shot off the board.
He did manage to get his Zangor with pistol here in on that Poxwalker with a flesh wound.
Yeah.
Making another short charge here that he will definitely make onto these other Poxwalkers on this objective. Can't. I don't think he could have failed that even with Snake Eyes. So, yeah. And I mean, he's not too scared about his positioning, I wouldn't think. Maybe be a little bit scared of that Plague Champion because he does have the Power Fist, correct?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. I think Tom is going to be more trying to secure that center objective
Yeah, most
more than
definitely.
anything else. That'll be his priority this turn. Get that point, try to get hold more, try to get domination.
Yeah. That should be, but last turn he could have shot other models off the board and he chose not to. So we'll see, right? You got to be careful about that middle objective
Yeah.
because of these Cybolts. You got to get some Poxwalkers in front of those Marines, which he
Yeah.
does have a few over there to do that.
Yeah, he'll be able to do that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, to his credit, he wasn't able to draw line of sight onto the Zangor, who was hiding behind the wall over here. At least I don't think he could have
Yeah.
at
Just
time. So it's not like he could have scored domination anyway with just one Poxwalker on within that 3-inch bubble. So
yeah. Interestingly enough, I don't know if it'll come into play. I don't know if that Plague Marine Gunner at the bottom is wholly is he wholly out of what the deployment zones were? I wish I knew where the deployment zones were, but I don't know if he'd count for that board edge unless Tom moves him. I don't know if Tom is aware of that. Obviously, Tom hasn't moved his models yet, but if it's going to be holding this long board edge because he's moved his Poxwalker away from it, then it needs to be wholly out of his. I believe that model needs to be out of his deployment zone. The only way you can hold the
yeah,
board edges in the deployment zone is if it is the board edge that is wholly within. So that's what he's got that
yeah,
Poxwalker for.
that's a good point. If he's not, I think it's right on the edge.
Yeah, definitely
I
close.
could,
One of those things, some players are pickier than others, but that's something that, those of us who have played a lot of these packets and in a lot of these tournaments, we keep an eye out for those things, right? Like that's the kind of thing
yeah,
that I know Biernid and I would call each other on in a practice game, like pretty quickly, just because
yeah,
it's good to, reiterate those things over and over again. I just, I totally got the or the secondary completely mixed up with the four board corners. So, little minute things like that, like okay, being within your deployment zone or not within it to hold that board edge, those things do come into play and can rob you of points later on if you're not reading that text very closely.
yeah. Tom's a smart guy. He'll figure it out.
Let's see, some more decisions being made here again, deciding to kind of stick back with these sorcerers, right? I understand the leader a little bit more, because of
Because he's the leader, man. You
yeah,
don't want to,
don't want to lose that,
get him killed.
lose that CP. But at the same time, I do believe with the state of the board, he probably could have moved him maybe up into this building, so still retain cover, still use that interestingly modeled staff to give you some cybolts while hiding from the guns on the board. Obviously, Tom is at an advantage here, getting to move second, so he can set up some of those things. That's something here too to think about. This guy is staring at his. We talked about that charge, that Plague Marine combat, and how he's in on that Zangor combat. He could get cybolted off before getting to take a single swing. Um, that's something
Yeah,
Tom's got to worry about. Doesn't have any Poxwalkers close by to kind of get in front and deal with that.
yeah. That's a good point. Oh man. Yeah, that is definitely a tough spot for Tom. A
Yeah.
good catch there.
And he's
Oh gosh. Oh
That
Lord, he
model,
coming.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
coming.
yeah, so he's gonna have both Cybolts potentially to take out that Plague Marine
Oh
fighter.
jeez.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to have a contingency plan for that, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that is the one thing about Thousand Suns that is that is consistently going to be a problem is the two Cybolts. So I mean, I don't know. He
Yeah,
probably could have placed that guy a little bit further back or something. I don't know.
yeah. So he does have Poxwalkers here in the center that he could advance up there and get towards that, but then you're taking him away from the center, which you need domination, you need, that
Yeah.
objective. Uh, yeah, this will
He
be.
just needs 2, and he does have what's like 4 bodies there, so he might be able to.
Oh yeah, there's
I
definitely
don't
the
know.
potential. There's definitely the potential. It's just one of those things. It's going to depend on how the psychic goes this round, right? For the Thousand Suns, it could, if it goes the way he's hoping it didn't, great. If it doesn't, if it goes the way it went turn one, maybe a little bit more difficult of a position because let's say he's not able to take out that gunner. I mean the fighter, the Plague Marine fighter. Now all of a sudden he loses his Zangor combat after already losing the medic, and then you're starting to the number of birds you have compared to the number of poxwalkers and marines on the board starts to dwindle, and then you really do have to start thinking about moving these sorcerers up and getting them involved in turn three.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, do, do,
I mean,
do.
we'll see how these Poxwalker advances go. He could. I mean, just one Poxwalker being closer
Mhm.
could stop both Cybolts. Because
Here
right,
we
because
go.
he's got the chance at the
Oh, that's
disgusting.
a big ol' advance.
Yeah, he's got the chance at the
6
disgusting,
inches.
and then he's still got to make the armor, or he's still got to make the out of action roll. So that could be pretty big.
So here's the issue. Okay, how much movement does he have? Because the far back sorcerer, the leader sorcerer, cannot see that poxwalker, so he still gets the marine. You
Yeah,
eliminate
he's.
one of the Cybolts here, but he cannot eliminate both, it doesn't look like. Unless he can turn that model
Yeah.
and maybe get the hand in that window. I don't
Yeah,
know, but he's not seeming to do it right
I
now.
feel like he
So,
could. He definitely could.
well, appears to have
Wow.
chosen not
Yeah.
to. So he's eliminated one of the Cybolts, which is better than none of the Cybolts. But yeah, could have
Mm.
potentially eliminated both, I think.
I think he could have. You see how far out that model is from the Plague Marine fighter that he's trying to bubble wrap.
Yeah, he could have
I
brought him in a
think.
little bit
I think
closer.
he. Yeah, I think he definitely had the movement to bring him in a little bit in closer and kind of just stick his hand right in front of that Plague Marine
Yeah.
fighter.
Trying to look, yeah, there's not enough of the
All right, so the
staff to.
Plague Leader champion is going to charge the Zealot. Oh, he's declaring charges on everybody.
Yeah, I think you want him in on the Zealot because you want him on that center
Yeah,
objective.
you want to get that domination.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's not going to
Snake
do
Eyes
it.
on the charge.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. We might see a reroll here. Yes, we are.
Yep.
Oh, okay, that's a lot
That
better.
is a lot better. So now he's got some options here.
I think the center of the board is where you go. And if you go to the center of the board, if you're okay,
I like this. Okay. I
now he's in on
liked
both
this
of them,
move.
right?
Yeah, he's in on both of them. I liked this move. Not sure how it's going to pan out with these Cybolts now. At least now he's given James like options. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like now James needs to pick which one he wants to kill. So I guess that might be a good thing. And the Poxwalker is going to get in on the. Oh, this is a Zealot Poxwalker, Shane.
Ho ho ho!
Zealot Poxwalker getting in on the Zealot Zangor.
Yep.
Very cool.
Fan of
Okay.
that.
So yeah, I like that little sequence there. Just because Tom doesn't need to kill the Zangor in order to get domination. He
Yeah.
just needs he's going to be holding that point, assuming the Zangor isn't able to kill the Poxwalker, which that's a pretty safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
And then clearing out an entire objective down here, that'd be great for him as well. So we'll have to see how that goes in the fight phase. But now, I think we're going to be going into the psychic phase in a second here.
Yes, we will be moving into the psychic phase. Not sure what they're pinging there. Oh, he's still got that model, but he wants to. Oh, I thought he was in combat. Maybe he wasn't charged. I'm not sure if they only charge that front Poxwalker or if they charge both. A little bit of discussion, I think, over here. on these. So the Plague Champion I think could have gone either place, but yeah, I don't like that he's in combat with both of these Zangors because I mean it's tough to kill that Plague Marine, right? Especially with a Zangor, but
Yeah.
I'd say the Power Fist, super strong, super great weapon, but against the 5-up invuln, I don't know his chances of killing back. Um, are not entirely great either. Obviously, if he gets it through, he's got what is it? It's D6 damage right on the fist, or is that
D3.
okay? D3. I couldn't remember. Somebody has
Yeah,
a.
it's just a power fist. They do have the cleaver, which can get D6 damage,
That's what
but
it is.
he's
Yes,
running the
yes, yes. The
flail
cleaver.
instead.
Yeah. Which is always fun when you roll that 1 or 2 with it, and you feel so bad. So that's the first Cybolt.
Viewers watching at home, don't let Eric's banter about the plague flail discern you from running it. This is almost an auto take of a weapon.
Oh, the Plague Flail 100% is. I was talking about the cleaver. Feels bad when you roll a 1 on the d6 damage. I just look at.
Oh,
I have
okay.
bad experiences with these fighters. So that is a flesh wound. It looks like he's gonna re-roll it. That is on the Plague Marine fighter. So he's re-rolling this flesh wound, and he rolls it into
Into
another flesh wound.
another flesh wound?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so this is a tough position for him now, right? He has used his 1 Cybolt on the guy that he was trying to set up 2 on, and if it weren't for that 6-up, that 6 on the advance, he might have been able to get both of them into that. But now he's got to pump one into this Poxwalker.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get any explosions. No, but it does go off.
Yeah. Things really worked out for Tom there. Injury roll on the Poxwalker. That's another flesh wound. Just unable to kill anything with the Cybolts in the first 2 turns.
I do not believe James did not re-roll a charge. I believe that was Tom, was it not? I don't think James re-rolled a charge.
Tom re-rolled the charge.
Yeah. I think you're mixing them up there, Benji. At least I know Tom he rolled double ones, and yeah. Okay, so yeah, they were just trying to figure out the usage of CP and re-rolls. But yeah, I believe that was Tom that did the re-roll. So with his Plague
Yep.
Champion on the
Yep.
double Snake Eyes. So all right, so Cybolts went through both of them, flesh wounds. This is tough, right? You've had 4 Cybolts now, and you haven't taken a single model out. That's not where you want to be as a psychic team. I can tell you that much. Getting 4 shots here. Not sure where these are going into. Probably this gunner in the center of the board, I would imagine. They're going to ping it out. Yes, it is into that gunner
I
in the
could see
center of the
that.
board. All right. 3 hits.
3 hits.
It's a good roll without using the tactics. Still getting 3 hits here. 2 wounds.
That's 2 wounds at
Minus
AP3.
So 2 6-ups, and then he's got a chance for 5-ups. Makes 1. Now
We
he's got a
made
chance
1.
for a 5-up. Gonna use that same dice. Oh, so close. All right, we will go to another out of action roll here. This is a 1 damage weapon. No rerolls available. Gets the out of action. Pop goes the Plague Marine. So there's the first blood finally for the Thousand Suns, coming in the way of the Rubik Marine Gunner. Almost saved, but wasn't able to do it. Not as disgusting as Janice's Death Guard, unfortunately for Tom.
No, those were a lot grosser.
That's a pretty big blow, though, for Tom to lose one of those Plague Marines, considering he hasn't taken out any of the Sorcerers or the Rubric.
Yeah, and that was also his...
yeah, he's not going to be scoring domination.
Or that objective.
That objective. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big model for Tom to lose, 100%.
I mean, I guess hey, they the Zealot Poxwalker could kill the Zangor over here, so
He totally can.
You never know.
Yeah. So that you guys were talking about how that model was pretty big for Tom. I know that he would have to have made an armor roll of a 6 if he were to CP reroll it. But if you were in Tom's shoes, would you risk it? Would you spend that 1 CP to try to get that 6-up armor save for that model?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Especially when you have the 5-up feel no pain sitting there. So it looks like, yeah, 3. Okay, does not make any feel no pains there. So this is the Aspiring Sorcerer's Warp Flame Pistol onto this Poxwalker, who is already
Oh,
flesh
he's taken
wounded.
the warp flame pistol. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess that's one way to get death from afar.
Very true.
I mean, he's a bit fortunate that this model moved all the way up close enough for him to get that.
Yeah. This is the out of action roll, it looks like here. Did not make any of those 3. Had 3 feel no pains. Here's the out of action roll. Oh.
Chest of flesh.
Well, I think that wasn't that one already flesh wounded by the psychic? Yeah, so
Yeah,
that's
but
Yes.
but yeah, no, still stays at a flesh wound. Yeah, so that's tough, right? All you needed there was a 3, correct? So to roll that 1, kind of demoralizing, but these flesh wounds are starting to build up on the Death Guard side, so
Yeah, I think this game's starting to even out a little bit.
oh, that's true. I hadn't realized that. Somebody pointed out in chat that that model advanced. He should not have been able to fire that warp flame pistol. That is one of those things that I
Oh,
guess is just a mistake that the players made. We're not in there. We can't comment on all of them,
jeez.
but
Tom is rolling like absolute garbage. He's gonna re-roll that
reroll one
shot.
of those shots.
His
Gets it.
past 5
that's better.
dice before that were all ones.
Yeah, he rolled
Yeah.
3 ones on the feel no pains. No, the leaking brain fluid is this one that says LBF on it. You could see how he pulled that dice away. Tom is definitely starting to get frustrated.
You just failed a wound with that? Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, um, yeah. So for those of you that might be wondering why we're not pointing everything out, there's certain things that we ask about because we weren't sure about them, like that decisive and the CP then used for it. But mistakes happen in games. If you've ever been to an in-person tournament, there isn't a TO at every single table. People do rules incorrectly, like it happens. That pistol firing after an advance, you are correct, shouldn't have happened, but we press on. It's kind of part of the hobby is being on top of some of these things, and yeah,
Yeah. It's just like watching the NFL, right?
yep.
You know,
Some of
you
those
don't
calls
you
should
don't
be
have
made.
you
Yeah,
don't have ABC, CBS, and Fox people going down on the field and saying, "Hey, throw the challenge flag, Bill. What are you doing?"
yeah, um, yeah. So let's see here. I believe we're getting into combat now. I think that's all the shooting. Tough go, I think, for Tom there, but we'll see how these combats pan out. I think that was a good, even though only getting the flesh wounds on the 4 psychics so far, I think that was a good round of shooting for him. And again, he's still going to be ahead on. I guess they'd be tied on primaries right now, right? Everything else contested, so it's really gonna depend on these combats for the primaries.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's for sure. We could see a huge swing in Tom's favor here. Things work out. No players have any CP left, so it's just going to be dice rolling from here on. Unadulterated by any sort of rerolls.
Interesting. He has moved off of that objective with that other Zangor here.
That is a bold strategy.
And then he's
Yeah.
only attacking the model that's not on the objective. So
Yeah, and I think he's trying to get rid of the scout the field models here, but I don't know that that's the play.
I mean, that other Poxwalker do be looking like it's within an inch of the
Yeah,
same board
no,
edge.
that's what I mean. He'd have to take out both of them. Yeah, we will
Well, he
get
piled
the
in over there. I can see if he kills this model, which he doesn't because
doesn't
Tom
feel no
just made
pain.
his disgustingly resilient save.
Yeah,
Could have
that's
seen him
big.
consolidate back onto the other one, back onto the point, but there was no reason for that movement.
yeah. I think he was trying to get away from the power fist, but I don't think Tom was planning on splitting those 2 attacks. So
No, he didn't have to. He just had to kill one, and
yeah,
he owns that point.
exactly. So yeah, interesting move there, but again, you know, these moves, when you're in the game, it's hard to be on top of every single thing that's going on or every little
Yeah,
thing
for
that you
sure.
do. In that case, he definitely knows he moved off that objective. He played with that model a little bit, so he's aware that he's given it up before the combats have even finished off here. I guess potentially had he moved and killed that Poxwalker that was on the objective as well, then they'd both still have one model on the objective. But it's pretty obvious that Tom's now going to attack with that fist into the only model he can now, but also the only model on the objective with him. So looks like Tom was trying to move his Plague Flail to get into combat with both of these models, but he's got to end closer and still be within one. I think he was able to, but
Will he be able to split his attacks between both of these models if he's
no.
within an inch of them?
No, because he
No,
didn't he
right?
didn't
Because it's
charge and get
only
into with that one. Yeah, that Zangor would be able to
right.
attack him back now that he moved in, I believe, with him. But
Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, no. So he's not going to do that. Anyways, he's pulled away
yeah.
from that idea.
Looks
I
like he's
think.
just moving back.
Yeah, I think that was his thought process there because that flail has those, those crazy attacks. So if you've got, 3 attacks with this guy, that's 3d3 attacks basically with that flail. So he thought he could split them up and have a good chance at taking out both. But okay, he's moving over to this combat instead, and he is going to split the attacks. I think he pinged both of them. He moved into
Yeah, I
combat.
saw he did ping both of them.
Yeah. I'm concerned if that's the choice, but okay, he's picking up 2 dice, so he's changed his mind here. I believe he's just attacking the one, which is good because he only got 1 attack through. Um, I'm assuming that both went on to the guy on the objective. That's what I'd like to think. 2 to wound here. Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
good God.
Okay.
With no CP,
Yeah.
that's
And
terrible.
you could see that toss of the dice. That is brutal rolling right there. So many ones. Yeah, I mean, you could have just as easily seen it turn to the other side and the Zangor make the 5-up invuln, but that is brutal when it's your own dice failing you like that in a situation where all you need is a 2 and you roll the 1. It's even worse when you do have the dice for or the CP for a reroll and you reroll into a 1. But not the case here. Them's the breaks, right, guys? It's a dice game. It
Oh
happens.
man.
It is. It is.
All right. Zangor attacking into that flesh wounded Poxwalker. 2 attacks, both hit. And that's 1 wound. Need the 5-up, does not get it. Throws the die
Needs a 3
across the room.
Does not
Flesh
get it.
wound.
Another flesh wound.
Oh man.
Who's that into now?
And that's the guy with the leaky brain fluid. So he doesn't even care.
Huh. Oh my goodness. That tactic is so good.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty strong for sure.
Like for like a lot of other factions, like a tactic like that, it won't really do anything. But that is for this faction so good because of their issues they have with morale.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think he did it to this other one. Would have liked to have seen him spend a CP on that because that other Poxwalker is most definitely gonna, I feel like, break. So this is the 3d3 attacks. So he's got 5 total. 2 hit. Oh, was that wound rolls or was those hit rolls? I thought those were hit rolls. So I don't know how we would have gotten to re-roll those.
To me, the flail is an enigma.
I mean, it's not
So
though. It's not though. It's D3 per each attack, but they don't auto hit, and then you have
yeah,
re-rolling of 1s on wound. So I think that might have been, yeah, he might have thought it was re-rolled a hit, but it's re-rolled a wound rolls of 1. So here's the wound roll. He gets to re-roll that one, so there you go. Still came into, and he wounds twice. So 2 5-ups here from the Zangor. Can he do it? You'll get a chance to hear him in the post game. Whether he's angry then or he'll still probably be carrying some of that bad dice anger by post game, I imagine, Elk Knuckle. So I believe you'll get to see him as well, potentially crush a beer or two. Although I don't know if we're allowed to show that on Twitch. Is that against? Is that against?
I
I'm
can
not.
Let's
say
err
that
on the side of
I
caution
Yeah,
here.
I
yeah,
was gonna say I can say that I have seen him on a Twitch stream doing it,
yeah.
but
Okay.
that's his own Twitch stream. We'll let him.
Yeah. Oh, James just DC'd again.
You know, not once in my game with James did he DC, so I don't know what's going on with
Yeah,
that
that one
tonight.
said Steam P2P session failed with James. James is disconnected. So I hope that's not. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm still in, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
also,
James is back in as well right now.
okay, there we
So
go.
appears to be okay. It's showing he has, pretty good ping here too. I don't know if he's East Coast or West Coast, but you guys have high ping obviously from the East Coast. He's looking at the same as Tom is, so I expect that. Yeah, not sure, but and there's the out of action. Tom gets it. So bye bye, uh, Zangor.
Yeah,
Combat.
combat
Unless there's,
Zangar too.
well, no, even if there is some sort of tactic, it doesn't matter because he has no CP. So bye bye, Mr. Zangor, and yeah. Uh, so our Plague Marine fighter survive. Oh, interesting. Is he going to choose to? No, he's not. I thought he was measuring if he could. Is he going to? No. All right. Um. So we still have a Zangor to fight over here, correct? The Zangor with the pistol. And this one has fought up here. So two of the three Zangors have fought. And we still have this combat in the center of the board as well. Between our Zealot, Poxwalker, and the Zealot Zangor.
Yes, that's the one I'm most looking forward to.
Most interested in? Yes,
Oh yeah.
It's definitely the most pivotal.
Yeah, it will be important. You're not wrong. All right, Zangor into this. 2 hits. 1 wound. Can Tom get a field
All right,
pain
Tom. Oh, if
Oh,
you can get it in the box.
and
Nope.
that's a no. Out of action. Oh,
That is an out of action.
okay. And so
My
the
goodness.
move of taking the Zangor off the objective has ended up working out all right for James due to how that combat went down. So
Well, I
both
mean, he could be controlling it if he had not done that.
true
So
would be controlling it.
I
So
don't know if it.
this isn't a best case scenario, but it's also not a worst case scenario. We'll say
Yeah.
this it canceled itself out. Technically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So we will get to see this Poxwalker fight. Interestingly enough, the Zangor does have a charge, but it failed its charge, correct? So I don't believe it would have gotten to fight before the Poxy anyway. But Poxwalker's going to fight. He's going to get his 3 attacks now because he is a Zealot, and these will be 3 Strength 4 attacks. Still hitting on 5s. Oh,
Oh no.
Nothing doing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, if that model lives, that is a pretty big thing for
Yeah.
Tom here, because right now, James only
Right
holding
now.
1.
Yeah.
Tom would be holding more.
Yep.
Also, has this Poxwalker fought back yet?
No, he has not.
God,
No.
so not only did James move off the objective with that guy, he didn't even base the Poxwalker. So that Pox can actually pile in and hold that point.
Oh, you are correct. He could.
My goodness. Mistakes made there. Mistakes definitely made there.
Well, he's fighting back in the center. 1 attack here.
1 hit. Did he just?
No wound.
Okay. So no wound. I don't know if I thought he was re-rolling the hit at first. So
Now, will Tom remember to fight with this Poxwalker? I'm hoping he does.
God, I would hope so.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, not based, he can move. At least it doesn't appear to be based. Yeah, no. Will he remember?
Well, if he does that, he probably can. He just needs to make sure that he'll be within an inch of that board edge because he also wants scout, right?
Oh, true. Yes, he is pinging it.
So I
So
think he can. Okay, he pinged it.
yeah, the other
Oh, he's
Poxwalker.
doing it. He's doing it.
Yeah,
That's our boy.
there you
There
go.
it is.
So he's got the objective. Is he within 1 inch? He's gonna measure it now. He is.
Yep,
He is.
Wow, he's checking it all.
The
I'm
little
so proud.
Look at
Poxwalker that
this.
could.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he's interesting. He's attacking the one on the objective. I guess it doesn't really make a difference which one you attack. They're both Zangors with
Split the
pistols.
attacks. Have
Split-
the Poxwalker.
Murder both.
Just go full Jason Bourne on these Zangors.
So he is attacking the one on the objective.
That's
Yeah.
the smart play, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you might as well.
Okay. Here we go.
Gets a
One
hit.
hit.
Ooh, okay, you got one.
It's gonna be
Wounding
wounding
on
on
a
what, a 4?
5.
5? Okay, 5.
5, yeah. The Zealot was wounding on a 4, but he didn't get a hit.
Yes.
Oh, and that no wound. Too bad.
Still, he gets the points, which are most important, right? The model
Yeah.
survive. These guys are stuck in combat. He can fall back from them. I guess you wouldn't want to fall back from them because they have the pistols. But yeah. Will be interesting to see what happens with that clump of models next turn. The pistol. Oh no, wait, it's not a pistol on the champion, huh? It's a plasma gun, not a plasma pistol. So he won't be able to fire it. The Zangors will be able to shoot their pistols in combat. Was that? Oh, that was the Zangor fighting back over here. Nothing happening there. Needed 6s to hit with those flesh wounds. So some of these models are going to have to make checks. Yeah, this double flesh wounded guy here will. I guess that's it. Oh no, the Marine as well. But I think leadership.
Yeah, the Marine's got leadership 7.
So he'd need a 6. He'd need a 6 on that guy to shake. Because he's only got 2 out, right?
That's correct.
All right. Math. Pivotal part of this game, ladies and gentlemen. The ability to remember when and how to do math.
Simple math, too.
Hey. It's funny because it is simple math, but people still screw up. I think of all the phases of the game, I think that the morale phase is the most confusing or screwed up for people.
Yeah. For me, it's just because when I first started playing this game, I played a lot of Space Marines and a lot of Space Marine equivalents. So the morale phase for me rarely ever came up unless I was getting absolutely trashed. And by that point, the game's all lost already. So it's like, who cares? But yeah, and then there was some issues, I think, when the game first came out, where there was a misprint regarding one of the morale tables or something, indicating like modifiers.
So
but yeah,
I'm not sure which dice that one was for, but he rolled it. Okay, one on
Oh,
whatever he was rolled
autopath.
next. Which one was that? I think that was the Marine fighter, though. I think the other guy might have shook. Maybe he didn't. I thought he did with that 4. He had one model close to him, 2 models out. I think it might have been a miss there. I'm not sure. There's not a shaken token, so it looks like they're proceeding. But yeah, I thought with 2 models out there, leadership 4, right? 2 models out, you have 1 model close to you, that'd make it 1, so you need a 3 to pass. Maybe the 1 was on this guy and the 4 was on the Marine. I'm not entirely sure, but that must have been what it was because they passed, so we are good. So that gives 1, 2, 3 objectives. So he definitely gets the more there.
Yeah.
And
Does not score domination. He will score scout the field here. He kill anything this turn? Yes, he did. So he already scored himself cut apart. So it looks like the score is 7-6 right now as it stands, with Tom in the lead.
Yeah, and so that's a bit, I mean, unfortunate. Again, you don't want to leave this aspiring sorcerer out there where there's no cover, but at the same time, he didn't have any kind of backup here for this board edge once that combat was lost. And even that combat, I think,
Yeah.
wasn't even within the inch. I'm not 100% sure. He was on the edge here. He might have been within an inch, but he lost that out. So now he lost one board edge, and there goes a point. So he's going to have to get, it's turn 3. It's a close game. He's going to have to get feisty with these aspiring sorcerers, or he's going to have to cross his fingers and hope that those Cybolts come through for him finally.
Okay, so James won the initiative there handedly.
Yes.
Um,
Boxcars.
so I
Does,
think
does he want it though?
Yeah, right.
He's had it every turn now, I believe.
Yeah.
Which has definitely played a part in the game.
Yeah. So I think it's advantageous for him to stay in combat with both of these Zangors. The one is based now on the not on the objective, I believe, so that's tough because he can't even get him back in unless he gets a kill, obviously. Yeah, might be to his advantage to get that Plague Brain champion out of there, but I'm not sure. I guess he wants that objective, so maybe not. But maybe still pull him out of combat. I don't know if you could hide him from that big gun though, but oh, we just lost Ryan.
Uh-oh.
But
and then there were 2.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I'm curious what the play is going to be with these sorcerers. I mean, there's a lot in between the sorcerers and the blight launcher, which again, the blight launcher is the key to killing those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Along with that plasma gun, but the plasma is currently locked up in combat. So.
Yeah, and I would say potentially that combat fighter, but you don't want anything to do with that warp flame pistol on that charge there. So I think he's got to avoid that. You've really got to. It's again so pivotal that gunner, Plague Marine gunner that got taken out in the center of the board, lost domination.
Oh. Hold on. I think Tom is decisive moving. I think he wants to charge that warp flame pistol.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, the warp flame pistol, it's toughness or it's strength 3. It performs better than it should. I will say that from experience.
I don't care what strength it is. I don't want to give anybody D6 auto shots in general, right? It's also got AP of 2, so you're looking at 5 up saves. I don't know how I feel about that, but Tom is obviously considering it. He's got to declare. Okay, so he's declaring on the center here. Okay, he's not going to make the warp flame. Oh, he is pinging the warp flame as well. So he's just going to give him Overwatch.
Why even declare?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Zangor if
I'm not sure. Yeah, like either because the other thing is if you're trying to go for the Zangor and your safety, if you have a safety right here on that Zangor that's on the objective, right?
Yeah.
That seems bizarre to me. Oh, that seems bizarre. He would also be giving up death from afar.
Yeah, well, I don't even think he knows. Does he know yet that he has death from afar?
No, he does not, but we do.
Yeah.
The eye
well,
in
I mean,
the
death
sky.
from afar was a totally illogical choice in my opinion.
Agreed.
So
he wouldn't be.
I wouldn't be expecting that.
Yeah. I'm not saying like, oh, he's giving it. I'm saying like, oh, that would be another point as well there, depending on how that goes. So a little bit of discussion. Maybe he's rethinking his plan. I don't know about the decisive here. Do you? Like, what did he think that guy was threatened by? 4 shots of Overwatch for free here.
So he'll be
5s to wound, right?
Yeah, I would have just let James move and just kind of react to it because I think he had that freedom.
100%.
Look for 5s here. Come on, drop him. Oh my God. So now this is exactly what happened when I played against him.
But I mean, this was also, it's a long shot to get those 5s, but I don't know why he made that charge. So he makes one of the saves, and he still has a feel no pain for the other one, or he's going to reroll it. Okay.
Give himself another chance at the 5. So he'll have 2 chances to roll a 5 now. Now here comes the feel no pain. He doesn't get it. That's rough.
Okay, so this is.
He's already
this guy's already flesh wounded, right? Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think that was not optimal at
He's
all.
Dead. Yeah.
What a random risk, I feel.
So the other thing is, as you mentioned, he pinged the Zangor in the center. So, but if you need a safety, a backup, it's the Zangor right here on the objective. Because also, do you really want to get into combat with that Aspiring Sorcerer when you already have a Flesh Wound and now you'd be the closest model to him for Psychic?
No, no, you don't.
Yeah, that just
You
and
do
you
not.
gave him the free Overwatch. Like that felt like a really bizarre move there. Obviously, as we discussed, that Warplane pistol had to get those fives to wound, but why even give him the chance, right?
Yeah, kind of a meaningless risk there,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Um, hmm. Well, it's been done now. He spent 2 CP to lose a combat specialist, essentially. And
Yeah.
Can I get some Fs in the chat? Can we get
yeah,
some Fs in the chat for fallen dirty boy?
I'll take a sip here for the
Yeah,
fallen fighter.
pour one out.
I'll pour one out into my mouth. So yeah, yeah, he could have charged that Poxwalker first as well, and eaten the Overwatch there, but yeah, I'm not sure what the decisive was about either, because I just don't think anything was really threatening it. And also had the let's say a one, I don't believe the Aspiring Sorcerer could have charged through that window, so he doesn't have to worry about that. That
I mean,
Poxwalker
he could have
can,
charged over it, but
yeah, I suppose he could have gone over it.
it's
But
still a doable charge. But it's like, yeah,
but
it's
he gets to
just.
toss a grenade at him, right? Too, if he charges him.
I think the Plague Marine fighters have grenades.
Yeah,
Yeah, but anyway, it was. Yeah, that was. Would not have recommended that move.
interesting. So the Zealot falls back here too. So if you think about it, right? I don't know that that would have been the move had the combat not decisived, but had it been, then the combat would have had an even closer charge there. So
Yeah.
I agree. Mind you, I don't think he would have fallen back maybe to that exact spot because he would have been giving that combat a closer charge. But yeah, that decisive seemed a little bit self-defeating. We'll definitely have to ask Tom about that. What his thought process was in the post game. I'll let one of you ask though.
You're
Uh,
scared.
Look, I actually see. I mean, I don't right now because of the world, but when tournaments get back to happening in person, I have to see Tom in person. I don't want to, set him off too much here. Let's see. Yeah, yeah, Micro. Micro saying that the Pox would be almost guaranteed to die to that Warp Flame, which is possible. You're not wrong. Either way, I think the charge of the Marine was not the right call.
Yeah, you could have just not charged with either of those models.
Yeah, make him make the. Oh, that's wait, what?
Rolled a 10-inch charge with that Poxwalker, got him in on the center objective there.
Yeah, but oh, okay, never mind. All right, I wasn't thinking. I was like, wait, but how? It's not his phase, but everybody just stayed in combat, and you got ready ups on everybody else. So, um, yeah, okay, that makes more sense then. So it's Tom's movement now. I was a little bit confused because I hadn't seen James move anything else, but when you consider the state of the board, like I don't know that he was going to move anything else. Again, I think James could have, as Shane mentioned, Tom could have sat back and let James do his thing first. He was in the driver's seat essentially, right?
Yeah,
Even losing
absolutely.
initiative, he had I think he had the better board state there, and he threw it away. But we'll see how the rest of this goes. Poxwalker with 2 fleshes now in combat with that Zangor. Um, gonna have to survive, but also gonna have to hit on sixes now.
Okay. So one of those Psychers is going to be Cybolting into the Fellow Poxwalker there on the point. I don't. Okay. A lot of interesting moves
Yeah, interesting is a word.
so far. Yeah, right. Just leaving the Zealot just out there in the open, completely exposed. Oh, there's still movement going on. Okay.
Yeah, there is definitely still movement going on.
I don't know why we were pinging.
But the zealot is, yeah, I mean, he can hide himself from that gun, which he should most definitely do, but he can't do much else this turn. Um,
I'm not so much concerned about that Soul Reaper cannon as I am concerned about the Cybolts. I mean,
Cybolts?
either way, they're both
Yeah.
deadly to him. So
Yeah. Well, Cybolts, I don't know that he's
nasty.
the I guess he's the closest to the leader, right? He's definitely the closest to the leader that can be seen, but not the closest to the
Yeah, I
regular
think the
Smiting
double
Sorcerer.
flesh wounded Poxwalker is slightly closer.
Which one? There's multiple double flesh wounded. The leaky brain fluid or the other one in combat in the center? Oh, okay, wait.
Well, the Zealot doesn't have flesh
So
wounds.
Tom did leave it out there, is what it looks like. Because I
Yeah,
don't, yeah, okay. So it's getting Cybolted now, is what it appears. Oh,
I
those
actually think
are,
that's a good idea. Leaving it out there. That way, there's no risk to the Plague Marine Gunner that he's ready to up getting Cybolted. You know, so he wouldn't be able to like double up on that leaky
I
brain fluid
guess,
one.
but I mean, these models are starting to rack up now. So are these flesh wounds. I don't know. Let's
Yeah, and
see.
Tom uh, doesn't have any CP remaining, so it's not like he can auto pass.
Yeah. Here's the other thing. If he Cybolts this Poxwalker off, mind you, I doubt it's going to happen, but he can shoot that pistol into the Plague Marine Gunner. He does get the Cybolt off. We'll get a Disgustingly Resilient. No, he won't.
Nope.
You got to roll for it anyway.
So needs a what, a 2 here with
Yes.
those 2 flesh wounds.
Yes.
Okay, let's see it. Any day now. Okay,
And he gets it.
there it is.
And that was the leaky brain fluid one too.
Yep.
So that was the one that he didn't have to worry about. Oof. 3 models dead, and we're not out of Psychic. So this is the thing that I was talking about with Psychic. Like, you feel like you're falling behind. So I say 1 every turn, right? He's averaged, I think, 0.75 per turn now because he only got flesh wounds on the first 4, but then he just got double out of actions on this turn. So that Psychic is starting to pull back for him into this game now that it's gotten off. And again, I still think he's being a little bit too scared with these models, keeping him as far back as he has. But at the same time, it's working out, right?
Yeah, he's just been able to kind of smite things off the board as they come on him.
Yeah.
Oh, and that Soul Reaper cannon.
Yep. This
Unloading into that Plague Marine. He's been able to tank these shots so far pretty well. Okay.
Yeah, but that's only 1 hit, right?
Looks like it. Target's obscure. Oh, did he do the tactic again?
He must have.
Rerolling all failed
Yeah,
hits.
he's at
I don't
1
know why
CP.
he rerolled all 4 die then, but
Oh, maybe it was
Yeah,
5s. I thought it was only 4s.
Oh, he was long range. I think he might have been obscured though.
Okay.
yeah.
Definitely obscured, but
Yes.
So
that's only 1 wound. Need a 6-up save here.
gets the save.
Oh, he got it. Wow.
He needed that because honestly, as many bad dice as he's had, that would have been game there. I think if that model gets taken out.
For like the morale, yeah, that would have played a
Morale
huge
wise,
part.
he would have lost his secondary on that board edge. It would have been, I think, 1 too many things to keep it close, right? As it is,
Yeah.
he's obviously in a not great spot with that, losing that combat and the things that happen. But I think it's close enough within 1 point that he can potentially hold on here, especially with now he's got these shots. Who does he shoot? He's got to shoot that model off that objective, right? I think he's gotta. Might not be the biggest threat, but
The Zangor just sitting right in front of him.
yeah, to try to secure that primary for himself.
Yep, looks like he's going for it.
Tough with that 5-up invuln, but all right, 1 gets 1.
Ooh, that's a big old wound.
Yep. Here's the 5-up save. Oh.
Got it.
All right. Well, as frustrating as that is, it's not as, not as terrible as it would have been for him to have failed that 6-up save on his own model. So, oh, it's going to be tough to tank another round of double psychic though. Yeah, he needs those out of actions himself to try to get it into into morale for the Thousand Suns, which he's not going to get. He's still got combats. These are some pretty important combats over here. Poxwalker will get to swing first with his 2 attacks, but hitting on 6s in that center objective, which he hasn't scored domination once yet, has he? No, he hasn't. Which is crazy when you think about what the board state, I guess, could have been or what it was.
Yeah. All right.
Close game.
Yeah, seriously.
So
Well, hits 1, makes 1 of the attacks on 6s there. Gets the wound.
wound. Ooh. All
5
right.
up.
Oh man.
Does not
Does
get
not
it.
get it. Oh boy.
I'm wondering here if
Oh
Tom asked him to start
boy.
using the blue dice. Oh,
Oh,
and
he
there's
killed it.
he
Oh
killed it.
my goodness.
He killed it. That's huge. That's that's oh. So here's the thing. Does he he doesn't have any CP though, you guys. So that
Yeah, no
model and
Nurgle's gift.
that's not a well no CP and that's not a leaky brain fluid model. So that model with 2
Yeah.
flesh wounds has got to pass.
That model doesn't have 2 flesh wounds.
It does. They're stacked.
It's got 1.
Oh,
No,
they're
it's got
stacked.
2.
Okay.
It has
Oh,
2.
2?
Yeah, that was the other one that was over here that had been cybolted.
Yeah, the flesh wounds are stacked on it.
Yeah. He
I
does
didn't
have
see
2,
that.
and it's not leaky brain fluided, unfortunately.
Yeah, so I mean,
It could. I mean, all he has to roll a 1 basically. He has to roll
yeah.
a 1. So if he had the CP, if he had either done the leaky brain fluid in another turn, or if he had the CP to,
So Zangor, looks like it got both hits, 1 wound.
Mm-hmm. That's
Come
so
on,
brutal
let's
too.
see that 5.
Oh,
He gets it.
Got
that's
it.
the save. That's so brutal too when you think about the fact that he spent on the decisive and then he spent on the reroll of the save, right? So he spent both of his CP there. Where, that's tough. We won't continue. I won't continue to harp on it. I'm sitting here looking at it, thinking about what could have been. 1 CP and you automatically pass a guy. It's so good. Oh, he's splitting the attacks here. It looks like gets that 1 through. This is a wounding on a 2. He does wound. Here's the save. Does not get it.
Ooh.
So that's D3, right?
Yeah.
2.
2 damage.
2.
No rerolls, but he needs a 4.
Gets it.
That'll
Got
do
it.
it.
Okay. Yeah, this is still going to be tough. I think it's still going to be close, even if this continues to go Tom's way here in this combat, because he's still got 1 more attack, because you're still looking down the barrel of this giant gun and 2 psychics. Although, again, because of how far back he's kept this leader is not going to be able to get involved in a combat in turn 4. Oh, hits with that one. Wounding on 2s. Oh,
Nope.
abs.
Jesus.
That's so disgusting. Oh, you hate to see it. Still
Well, on
does
the
have.
bright side, that's the one that already fought, right?
Yeah, that's the one that already fought. It's not on the objective, and he still has the Poxwalker to fight back against it as well. I think this is going to come down to a morale check, though. Honestly,
Oh, for sure.
not even just on the guy in the middle, but just I think.
Just the whole team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Not
he's
this turn,
got
next turn.
5 models out of action. He's not in a good spot morale-wise.
Yeah, he's got 6
Hey,
models
if he,
still in, so he's. Oh no, but I guess
I think
he's
it's
got
only
the 1.
5.
He's
right?
got the flesh wound on the 1. He's got 6 models still in.
Oh,
But he
I'm
has the flesh
counting
wound on 1.
James.
So it'd be 6 out and yeah. So he definitely has to make a break check. Oof. So here's the 2 Poxwalker attacks. This guy's hitting on 5s. Nope. Nothing happening there.
This has been kind of a bloodbath here.
Yeah. This turn especially.
Yeah, Death from Afar. He should have revealed that as soon as the kill happened, but I'm gonna show it now.
Mhm.
Did no cut apart there for James?
He should have scored
No,
it
for which combat?
I don't think
in the
James
center.
got a
Oh
cut
no, not
apart,
not
right?
James. Sorry, I was talking about yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking
James.
about
Yeah.
James. I think he missed out on that secondary this round.
Yeah, he did not
That's
get
pretty
it cut
big.
apart. Sorry, Tom definitely did. So this is the and he breaks.
Oh, oh no.
That's really bad.
Yep. That
What is
might
his
be
higher leadership?
8.
8?
Yep.
Oh no.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
jeez.
I believe that is game.
All right. Yep,
Yeah.
we see it. You just failed it. Let's roll these tests.
Oh man. Yeah, that probably is the game, unfortunately. I mean, pretty dumb way to lose. I've always said that about break check, especially in games like these where it is very close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's basically, it could be the difference between winning and losing.
Yep. I mean, just again, so much comes back to that combat charge. Tough, but
All right. So here's his first morale test. I'm not sure which model it is, but it just broke.
Yeah, that's a fail, no matter who you're talking about.
yeah.
Might be the leader.
I would assume, yeah, because you want to start with the leader when you're in this type of situation.
Yep. Yeah, it's shaken.
Because for every shaken model you have, that also contributes,
I
makes
honestly
it
would.
more difficult.
I mean, I know it's tough, but I maybe would have started with the center. I mean, I guess he needs a 1 no matter what on the center guy. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like you might as well have started with the leader.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah,
you the
that's
best chance for controlling points.
all the Marines are
Oh.
shaken. Yeah, that's game.
Oh
That's-
yeah, I think he just has a total shake here.
So unfortunate. Yeah.
Sad way for this to end.
Oh, most definitely. And the reality is, regardless of what he decides to do with that combat, this is how this would have ended up, right? Because it's that model was flesh wounded anyway.
Yeah.
So we would have still had to have come to
Yeah, his entire
absolutely
team
brutal.
is shaken.
Yeah, when you have such a close game. Oh, there you go. No, this guy survives and holds that point, so he will get a hold 1 this turn.
Oh, what?
This guy
No
over
way.
here, yeah, the last
Well, it doesn't.
Poxwalker.
It doesn't.
Poxwalker auto pass?
No,
It
he
did
didn't.
not. It
He,
doesn't.
He rolled a 1.
Yeah, he auto passed.
Yeah.
I mean, not auto passed, but he passed.
It's not enough to keep him in the game, but he holds that objective.
No. Yeah, I mean the game's over now. You know, a lot of people kind of complain about the injury roll and other mechanics, but this is the worst part of Kill Team to me.
Well, the worst part is that in the original design, in all those missions, if you break, you lose.
Then the game's
yeah,
over.
It's not
yeah.
even. It's not even a. Oh, you have a lead, or oh, you were able to scratch it out. It's if you break, you lose.
This is like honestly, this is the biggest reason why I didn't want to play Orcs at this tournament is because I didn't want to even have this feeling come over me at any point in the
Yeah.
tournament. It is the worst thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's also a big reason I like Sasea, because it gives you those rerolls on 1s, but it also gives you the leadership across the board, which has been clutch in a handful of places for me. So, oh, that's brutal. So I think they're gonna figure out points here, but I'm pretty sure that's game. Because that model, yeah, it survived, but all he has to do is fall back with the Zangor, and then that model can't attack and get cut apart. And I mean, he can shoot these other models off of objectives.
So hypothetically,
Mm-hmm.
let's say that all of Tom's models survive until the end of turn 4.
That's a tough ask, but yes.
It is.
Yeah.
But technically, I don't know. Actually, it depends on the math.
I don't know why Tom just okay. he gets.
The score is right now is 9-10.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, we could go through round 4, and if Tom still holds 3 objectives and he rolls ones
Yeah.
for 3 of those guys, he can still possibly get hold more here.
I love that. Oh, you know what? Do you use? He won initiative. Do you use your CP to keep that Zangor in combat so you have a chance at killing it for cut apart?
Oh, dude, that's a good idea.
The tentacle
Um,
tactic?
that's
Because
so that's such a reach, but he needs a Hail Mary.
he's not going to. He's gonna fall back out of combat with it, which I don't know. I think that's bizarre. Let the other guy fall back because the other guy's got a pistol. Now that guy just gets to shoot it for free. Well, I guess he's probably gonna move that model, but
Yeah,
I don't know where he's. Okay, doesn't care
yeah,
about the
that
objective,
a
I
lot
guess.
of a lot of questionable play with that Zangor.
I think he's just keeping it within 1 inch of the board edge, which he needed to do. Um, yeah. Oh, I would have thought to use the tentacle tactic there. Obviously, he didn't. It is what it is. Where is that? Is that on here?
Grasping Tentacle, I think.
Yeah, there it is.
One
And since he had
CP.
the initiative, decisive strike couldn't have got, or decisive move couldn't have gotten him out of it too. So would have held him in
Yeah.
there, like you said. Needed the Hail Mary, but potential there. So making
I
some
mean,
advances
we'll
here.
see how his morale tests go,
Yeah,
or his nerve tests go for Tom this upcoming turn. But I think James
interesting.
has this in the bag, unless
Yeah.
some miracle occurs.
How tall are these buildings? Because he just moved him back to go through that open window. I think he would have been better off just climbing
I
over
think
the
they're two and
wall,
a
right?
half. They're 2.5 or 2.
Yeah, and he spent 2.5 to go back and then 2.5 to go forward again. I think he would have been better off just going over the wall. Maybe not aware that you can do that, or not sure, but that was bizarre. He just spent 5 inches to get, around to where he could have been. Um, Chat seems to have tied down a little, or died down a little bit, rather. Maybe people tuned out after they saw the break. I don't know. Um, yeah, this is. I'm trying to think here math wise. So 10-9. God, if they all survive, I mean, interestingly enough, right? They're doing psychic now, and he's positioned this sorcerer. So he failed the psychic there.
Oh,
So
he failed another one.
yeah, rolled a 4. So I don't know if he's gonna re-roll or okay.
Anything that goes on with this Plague Marine Gunner is going to be inconsequential anyway.
Oh, and
So,
of course he can just see the arm of that guy.
oh, is that a Super Cybele
That is a
that just
super
occurred?
Cybele into the guy on the center objective, which was huge.
Yeah. He can see his. Okay, what do we got here? That's 2 damage. Or they're just okay. Model's coming off.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get the center, no matter what happens. So there's
Unfortunate.
domination gone.
And so that's another thing there too, right? When he finished that combat, I suppose he could have maybe tried to tuck that model a little bit better, but I don't know. If he had gone towards the gun here, maybe he could have hidden it behind this wall. These are all little things that I think the sorcerer would have just moved anyway. But the sorcerer's movement is also minimized by the fact that it has to stay on that border, right? So yeah. All what ifs. Tough situation here, of course. But I don't think now losing that center model, I don't think this is possible, even if everybody were to survive and were to pass their
Yeah.
morale. All right, I will be right back. You guys take it away.
Okay. So this looks like the Inferno flame pistol shooting into the Shaken Death Guard gunner. Got 2 wounds. Made none of the saves. Here comes the injury roll. Okay, takes a flesh wound. CP re-rolling it into a out-of-action Plague Marine. Next up, the Rubric Gunner is going to empty the clip into that Plague Marine there. I would have liked to see James have saved that CP. I know that he's already in a winning situation, but that Plague Marine, it's round 4. It's not going to be able to move or anything. So you might as well save the CP to try to get that out-of-action injury roll and, like, shore that up and put it onto the Plague Marine, like, leader that's on the point. Just on the off chance that if he rolls a 1 on the morale, so he won't be controlling that point. Makes the 5 up disgustingly... Oh, no, that was the armor save. There's the disgustingly resilient. So he makes that.
All right, I am back. What's going on here? Just waiting for them to wrap up, essentially?
Yeah, James has just finished up his shooting.
Looks
I
like
think they're going to be... Yep, they're going to be going into morale here. Tom has spent 1 CP to auto-pass his leader, it looks like. His Poxwalker, who's on the point, shook again. Or I should say just shook, did not shake again.
Wouldn't you be better off auto-passing the Poxy and then rolling for the leader because the leader has a higher leadership? I don't know. Oh, no, I guess how many models he has out, he needs a 1 no matter what, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Nor in most circumstances, that would be the play.
Yeah.
But here it's inconsequential.
For sure. So we end with a score of what looks like 10-14. Very close game there until it came to morale. I'm sure we're gonna get some choice words from Tom here. You guys ready to jump over?
Let's hop over. Let's hear what they gotta say.
All right.
No, good luck in the future.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hey.
Crazy game there. Very, very close until the end.
Crazy? It wasn't crazy at all. There's nothing crazy about
that. I mean, it was close. It was tough breaks on dice on both sides. First 2 turns of psychic only put on flesh wounds. Then Tom, you had a roll of I think 6 1s in a row or something like that between all your rolls there for a moment.
It was crazy. It was like his dice were all one-sided ones.
Yeah, it was a crazy crazy situation there. Ended up being really close towards, and then the break, obviously, as we were discussing on stream, it was going to come down to that. Rolled the 9, tough. Even in the end, we were trying to do gymnastics and figuring out, okay, if this guy does this, if this guy passes, if this thing, yeah. How are you guys feeling after that game, Tom? How are you feeling?
Frustrated.
Yeah. All right. Well.
Yeah, pretty frustrated. I like.
Understandably so. Understandably so. Here you go. Here you go, Tom. I got this for you though. All right.
Oh yeah, I'll open one too.
Okay.
I had several during the game.
I'm sure.
I mean, God, this guy, like, come on.
Brutal.
Dice 1s and 2s and fucking garbage, and then when I have to roll a fucking break test, I'm sorry for the language. I have to roll a break test, and I get a 9. A 9?
Yeah.
I mean, I was already screwed.
We were talking about it. Yeah. The morale is a tough part of the game, and it sucks to lose on that. I think we've all been there. If you play Kill Team, you've definitely, unless you play Necrons, then you've never been there before.
Right.
Yeah, James, how are you feeling after this game? What I guess, yeah, how are you feeling?
Feeling. I mean, I feel good.
Okay.
It definitely was. There was a lot of stuff with the dice. I feel like there was definitely some moves I did badly, like little things I made that could have made, definitely would have made improvements. But I mean, it's a win, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Tom. Some of those string of ones were just. It's bad when the move takes place and you're like, I probably should have died there. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't, so I'm happy, but I should have died. Like
It's
my
just
guy.
nuts taking a bunch of reliable shooting and not hitting a goddamn thing. And then, it's like, you took the list that I didn't want you to take. You took a very smart list. And that Ruben Marine Gunner is, you're making me now make choices I don't want to make. Where it's like, do I go for these sorcerers because goddamn this stupid fucking psychic phase every turn,
Yeah.
or am I trying to take out your big gun because that thing is absolutely devastating, and it's an absolute problem, and all you had to do is just sit him back there and
So yeah, I will say one thing.
fire away.
One thing that I might have done different, but I'm actually kind of probably glad I did. I did not take specialists for my warp flamer or my soul reaper cannon. And one of the things I was going for was I wanted to spread out and make as many targets viable as possible to give, like in this situation, to give you as many hard choices.
Yeah.
If I have one really clearly overpowered unit, well, that has to be the thing you shoot at.
Yeah.
But you have
So-
two aspiring sorcerers. The leader's the hardest. He's in the far back. So like, okay, the aspiring sorcerer and soul reaper are almost balanced as far as what you go for, and then the specialist or the Zangors are right up in your face. And that was like one of my best defenses was I have to spread myself so thin that it's difficult for you to know what to even go after. But
Yeah, so there were some tough choices that had to be made there. We were talking about it on stream. I think there were a few other options that would have potentially made the score a little bit closer had he maybe focused on some of the guys on objectives in that early turn one rather than the scary models in the back. But at the same time, if you take out those scary models, then you have less to deal with. I'm gonna hand it over to Shane and Ryan to ask you guys some questions. So Shane, take it away.
Tom, are you finished writing? I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah. I'm here.
I want to talk to you about the draft. How do you feel about did you consider like the Blight Lord or the big guys at all, or was it always going to be like?
Did, but I honestly went back and forth on taking a Blight Lord, but I knew that was going to cost me a Marine. It was going to cost me I thought was going to be effective in this game, which honestly should have been effective in this game, which is shooting. And honestly, the Blight Lord's great, but he's slower than the other guys. And he's only that much more, he has one more wound. He has the invulnerable, but like it just didn't add up. I felt like he was going to get swamped with this guy's Zangors. And then I was just going to be wishing I had brought another gun.
Yeah, I mean, I for what it's worth, I saw your muster, and I pretty much said on stream like I think that's exactly the right choice against Thousand Suns. It's just the shooting didn't go your way at all. So
It didn't go my way. It's just those Blight launchers need to hit, and like they need to wound. I need to not roll twos on wounds. Yeah, that was tough to. Yeah.
You rolled ones
Whatever.
on the power fist that doesn't re-roll the ones. That's the thing you rolled ones on.
That too.
that too was amazing. Like threaded the needle right there. A one's a reroll. A 3 and up wins. You get the 2. That's like that was brutal.
Yeah.
Chat
wants us to point out it didn't actually affect anything in the game, but this aspiring sorcerer when he was here, because mind you, I believe he had already put a flesh wound on in the psychic phase anyway, but there was a poxwalker right here, and you warp flame pistoled him, but this guy had advanced, so you would not have been able to actually have shot off. I believe that was the only like there was some caveman moves, but yeah. I mean, it didn't end up affecting the outcome of the game because this guy went on and killed somebody over here, even with his double flesh wounds or whatever. 1 flesh wound or 2 flesh wounds on him doesn't really make a difference, I don't believe, in the grand scheme of things. And he survived, like he didn't die there. But that was the one thing where this guy had advanced, so he wouldn't have been able to shoot a pistol.
You're 100% right. I always think of flamers as assault, and the warp flame pistol is the only exception. I didn't even think about that.
I've made that same mistake too.
All right, we'll put an asterisk next to your win.
Yeah, we should definitely like it at this point. How do you draw on the table? I see. Looks like Tom left me a nice message here. Very lovely.
So there's a draw tool. I don't know how much we want to.
So yeah, before this gets out of hand, James, I've got a question for you regarding your secondary choices.
Yeah.
So you chose Cut Apart as one of your secondaries, and
Yeah.
you were only able to score it once. Do you think that if you were a little bit more, I mean, you played kind of cagey with your sorcerers, but their force stave is nothing to like shake a stick at. Like, they're good combat weapons. So I guess just like what was the thought process behind picking Cut
So
Apart and then kind of just like holding back with, I guess, what are your best melee weapons in this list?
yeah, no, it's really tough. My hope and goal was to get Cut Apart with the Zangors against Poxwalkers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Primarily, that never happened. I was not taking out Poxwalkers in melee. My Zangors are incredible matchups for Poxwalkers. Hit on threes, wound on threes. It just that melee did not work out as well. And one of my biggest goals for this thing was to get up to 6 out or flesh wounds. So I wanted to get those flesh wounds out there, and I wanted to protect him at least the first couple rounds. By the time I did, it would have been difficult to get him out. Obviously, turn 4, I got the Aspiring Sorcerer out. I'd be flexible. I'd be willing to consider it, but kind of early game, I just need to make sure they're protected, and I'm getting like that flesh wound from the to at least get the flesh wound from the Cybolt is so crucial that I have to get those off. I got to protect them as much as possible, or at least like if I move them up, it makes it too much of a target where it's like the clear thing to go for. So I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out strategy and all that. I just wanted to play those a little safer and have these Angors out.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I don't know if that's the right call. I did one game ahead of time against Death Watch, and I tried to do more of a Zangor spam. I just took like 2 Aspiring Sorcerers and all Zangors. And there was a lot of interesting options as far as like the movement phase was interesting. If you can get them in combat and they can't be shot at, it helps a lot. But the break test kills you. Like when you have to take a break test, it just all falls apart. But yeah, so my whole strategy, which I just tried not to second guess it or adjust too much on the fly. I had a game plan going into it, and I tried to stick to as much as I could. Was just keep the Zangors downfield, have them do the work, try to tie them up, and go after Poxwalkers, and then keep getting out or flesh wounds from the back lines. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right. That's just what I went for.
Yeah. Well, it definitely worked out here. So congratulations on going 2-0.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, well, that was that was an eventful game. Definitely started off slow, things built there, and quite the crescendo. Tom, while we have you, would you like to share? I can see because I'm like this overlord in the stream. Would you like to share this trash can of yours? What's that about?
Oh yeah, these are where I keep my terrible units that can't hit anything. Is you just throw them in the trash can where they belong. Because Death Guard is trash. I light launchers, man. They're supposed to hit.
Yeah.
This guy was supposed to be dead. This guy was supposed to be dead. Look, I may not have gotten to this guy. I'll give you him. But those 2 guys were supposed to be dead. It would have just swung everything, and it really is. I mean, like,
Yeah.
he did a good job of just like staying patient, keeping him back. This guy was exactly where he needed to be the entire time. He didn't overreach with the psychic attacks. It was just kind of a part of his overall strategy, and it didn't. When I feel like when people play Thousand Suns and they're just relying on that psychic attack, then they're vulnerable.
Yeah.
But you were good with it. You kept it back, and I was unable to shut that down. For some
So
freaking
was the
reason.
only kill that your gunners got the one in Overwatch of all things, or did they?
That was it. That was the only one.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Which was
Jeez.
Yeah.
that was-
Yeah. That's brutal.
No, he was hot in those 5-up bullets too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
He stuck some of
just-
those. You stuck a few 6s in there too, but they
yeah,
were farther and few between. But
that's a 1 in 3 chance. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they didn't. That I was relying on shooting, and it didn't get the job done. I mean, even this guy, he ended up killing somebody with the fist, but I spent the extra points to give him that plasma gun to like a ranged threat, and even that didn't get done.
so
Yeah,
one last thought here, and this isn't to poke at a bear or anything here, Angry Bear. But so with the fist and with your combat here, the fist you chose to charge over to the left. The combat you chose to charge in and give the warp flame pistol the overwatch, which mind you, strength 3 should be a tough kill. I get it, but
it should be.
neither one of them. We were expecting you to kind of move them towards the center to get yourself that domination.
I was trying to. So I did charge both these guys.
Mhm.
The thought was this was a shorter charge. I was hoping for this one to move
Yeah.
the combat. That was a big mistake. I should have just him here.
Because you could have also charged this guy right here for your safety. This could have been your safety right here.
There was
but yeah.
only one. There's only one. The safety. So like at that point, I think he was here. I guess the safety could have been here.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I got overzealous and wanted to try and take this guy out because I was just getting frustrated.
No, you see,
I think
the tough thing
every
is,
single time. And
I think that was the only.
Foxwalker there at the time that could have charged in and maybe been closer for the second attack, maybe eaten that up. It was a stupid move. That was probably the dumbest move I made this game.
I think that was the only misplay.
Here.
Really.
James,
I was just.
I don't know if you're trying to talk. Your mic was.
oh yeah,
kind of breaking.
I was just gonna say, I was expecting if he did just go to the center, it might have been the time to bring it.
Yeah, your mic's freaking out again, but I assume you're saying you would have brought up the sorcerer had he gone to the center there. Yeah, we lost. I think we lost James, but yeah. Congratulations again to James. We do got to wrap things up here. Yeah. Can we expect a salty sweet video out of this? Some of your fans are wondering, Tom, if we're gonna get.
Yeah, I'll put something together. I just good job, James. I don't know why. I don't know why they're getting 2 aspiring sorcerers. It's not like why are we adjusting the rules for this faction? I don't get it. But it's fine. Good for him.
Yeah.
We'll put an asterisk next to it. And he won, but let's be honest. If you look at it, you go back, look at the numbers. I really won this, but congratulations.
If you only count the legal points.
Yeah, if you only count the legal points, you definitely won.
If you stop counting after turn 2, I definitely won. So it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear. No, he played a great game. And I don't know if he can hear us right now, but good luck going
I'm
forward.
back in. I have
back,
definitely
okay.
the best internet of everyone here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Pay your bills, man.
Yeah.
Come on, they can't be like, can't be doing this, man. It's not that much. We'll start a GoFundMe for him, so he can pay their bill and maybe get up to 40 or something. And I look forward to seeing where he goes next in this tournament.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing where I go next. What the hell's happening?
Yeah, Tom. You're 1-1. You're not out of it yet. So 3-1 that'll do it if you get enough points going forward. So.
What do you mean that'll do it? That'll
Top
put me
8.
where?
You can
top 8.
You can get into the AKA the winners group at the end of this Swiss if you score well enough in your next 2 games and get wins. So 3-1s will make it out into the group.
I need to score big, I think, because some people have had some like 18-point wins, and now I'm at 12 and 10. 13-10. So
Yeah, some people have had some low point wins too, though. I know that based on looking at the scores. So, I mean, we'll see how things play out. You never know. Play it till the end, especially you're still in it. I believe if you're 0-2, you're out of it at this point. But the 1-1s definitely have a shot. James, congratulations, 2-0. I think Benji said that you are in the same points realm now as himself and Alec. So you might have
Yeah.
a heavy hitting opponent ahead of you. So looking forward to potentially, streaming or seeing those games get played out. And yeah, once again, congratulations. Good game to both of you. For those of you watching who have stuck around for this, oh yeah, okay, here we go. Micro is asking Tom, one final thing
Yeah.
here. When is the Bjornid game going to happen? He wants to know who's dodging who in this scenario.
well, I'm hoping. I was hoping that we would meet each other in this tournament. It does need to happen. Bjornid has been really getting lippy lately. He's really been running, and I feel like he's training people wrong because he's not good at the game. So it's really. I feel like he's just misleading a lot of people, and I need to correct that. So I will have a video out for him soon, and we'll schedule that out. There's just so many tournaments. The tournaments get in the way.
Yeah, so are you telling me winner of that game gets Bjornid's clients? Is what you're saying? You're gonna take over as their?
I think Bjornid's clients can decide that for themselves, if you know what I mean.
All right. On that note, we'll have to give some next time Bjornid's on. We'll have to give him some time to have a retort to that. Looking forward to this. Yeah. Looking forward to the salty sweet that will follow this. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Really?
Shane, Ryan, any closing thoughts here?
Jeez, nah.
I think everything that needs to be said has been said. So.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't already, even though you probably have, come over to the Discord, play some games. It's fun. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch, and we'll see you all later. All right, have a good night.
They're supposed to hit and they're supposed to kill. They're supposed to kill.